Yes, sir. I have it muted because Threat Guy likes to pump some music, so I don't want to get DMCA. Welcome to the stream. It's your boy Dev Alex.
Host Mr. Leave underscore XYZ would say, look, first and foremost, it's a pretty big week. We got NFTLA next week. I'm supposed to be in LA right now. I am not. However, I did accept a speaking gig at NFTLA on Tuesday. So I don't know how I'm going to get there. I don't know when I'm going to be there or where I'm going to be staying. But I apparently am speaking on Tuesday. So I guess I'll see you on that for Tuesday in LA. And if you got a couch that your boy can stay on, let me know. But look, NFTLA is happening next week. I will be there next week. I think NFT NYC is soon as well, but I'll be honest, no Ape Fest at NFT NYC. I'm not really interested. I'm not. Look, NFT NYC, to me, there's some pretenders they are some pretenders. You know, they threw a shitty event for 2 years straight and just clout chased Ape Fest. Like nobody went to NFT NYC for NFT NYC. Let's be real. We went there for Ape Fest. We went there for Doodle's Putt Putt. We went there for everything on the board except for NFT NYC. And people are giving me thumbs down, but they won't put their hands up and give me a rebuttal. Like, now they want a request. Now they want a request. I see how it is. I see how it is. Yeah. And here's the thing. It's like you want NFT NYC Maxis. You know, you paid for an NFT ticket. It wasn't even an NFT. And then they throw a shitty conference. I mean, Magic Eden threw a better event than NFT NYC, and I hate Solana. I hate it. I absolutely hate it. And I don't know. We'll go to some hands. We'll talk about it. But look, a lot's happened. You better on the mic. We had the Yuga reveal, which, by the way, I was fudding it last night, and I was getting FUD for fudding it. And all that made me want to do is double down and go harder. So trust me, we're going to talk a little bit about the Yuga Mint as well. I'm looking at my bookmarks. I got a Menace tweet bookmarked. A Dazuki just sold for 200 ETH is kind of ridiculous. You absolutely love to see that. I think there's some artifact news. They've been talking about some shit. A CSGO skin just sold for $200,000, but yeah, gaming NFTs don't make sense. Cool. Someone bought an MFer for 32K. Is kind of crazy. And Instagram took their ball, put their tail between their legs, and said, I want to go home. And they deaded any NFT integrations that they once had. So look, we're going to talk about all of it. We're going to talk about all of it before we got to go around the horn. We got to call on some hands. We got to call on some speakers. I missed y'all, man. I missed doing Twitter Spaces. I missed hosting. It's been a minute. I almost forgot how to do it. But all I had to do was throwing some shitty music through the Mac. And we are back and better than ever. Look, I got to start with the co-host privilege. I got to start with Bungley. Baby. How are you doing? How are you feeling? What's going on? What's the word? What's the hot take? What's bullish? What's bear? Talk to me, Bongo.
Straight guy, welcome back, Papi. We miss you. God damn it. Look, first of all, we need to get here the guy that is always chilling Instagram because that's not gonna happen.
Oh yeah, hold on. He's got 15 minutes till lunch, and good call. Everyone go tag Web3 Stoopy in the comments because his ass is not on work. He's got 15 minutes left to eat that turkey sandwich. So back to you, Bongo. I'll go tag his ass.
Hey, on the other hand, man, you really have some issues, and I think there's a correlation here. You are saying shit about New York, and you're saying shit about Solana, and all you want to do is go to your slow and expensive ETH and LA. And that's just BS, right, guy? New York is the shit, and no one was there because of Bored Ape. Only Bored Ape.
Hold on.
That's the only people that were there for that.
Hold on. So you telling me that you, a Solana Maxi, went to NFT NYC last year, didn't go to Ape Fest, and had a good time?
Absolutely.
Okay. I find that really hard to believe. I, for some reason, find that extreme. Did you go to the Magic Eden event? Because there's no way
no, sir.
You didn't go to Ape Fest, went to Magic Eden, and enjoyed it. Impossible.
All right. It is as simple as this. If you go to New York and you don't have a good time, you don't know what you're doing. That's as simple as that. You don't need an event. You don't need NFTs. Bro. It's always a good time in New York.
Yeah, I also love sitting in 3-hour traffic to get 10 minutes from my destination. So I love New York.
That's not New York.
All right. Well, look, I don't know how to put this, but Ape Fest is not happening at NFT NYC, so I will not be attending NFT NYC. And with any comments, questions, or complaints, feel free to send them to the assistant. Look, we gotta go to some hands. Keep thumbs down to me all you want, motherfuckers. I'm not coming. I am not coming. And you cannot make me. Okay, look, we got some more. And I'm going to GT, the man, the myth, the legend, gentle tornado. It is so good to see your beautiful face on this stage. How are you doing, my brother in Christ?
Look, dude, I almost unmuted. I'm not gonna lie to you, TG. Like I
No,
almost unmuted, bro.
you
Yeah,
wouldn't. You wouldn't.
I didn't though. Hey, out of respect for the fucking 300 and how many days I've been here not unmuting. Listen, dude, like I get it. I get what you're saying about NYC, but like we gotta support it in a better way. Like we are trying to grow this fucking ecosystem, and there's a lot of shitty stuff going on every single day and bad actors. And so it's like putting NFT NYC down is not the fucking business, right? Especially if you're going to NFTLA, which like I don't, I haven't heard like the greatest things about NFTLA, but like that's what I'm saying is like we can have constructive criticism, but like we can't be out here and be like, yo, fuck NYC. There's no Ape Fest. Like, no, that is not how we build.
Okay.
That's what I want to say. And listen, dude, we're fucking riding 24 days till NATO's full time. Like you, it's over.
Woo! 20 fucking 4. Shout out to Mamba. You love to see it. That means it's gonna be a great day, GT. Okay, a couple things. First and foremost, fuck NFTLA as well. Like I've heard NFTLA is dog shit, and the only reason I'm going is because I want to be in LA, and I've two things. The main one is I've never been in LA. The second part is I've never done an article speaking, GT. The last time I was speaking, doing a presentation in person, I was given a sports marketing PowerPoint to my advanced marketing class in 12th grade. And that's the extent of my experience. Give an oral presentation. So I'm like, look, I got to do one because I know I can't walk around pacing in the basement with the wife beater on, screaming to a bunch of pictures, IRL. So we got to get a little practice in. So this wasn't a shout out NFTLA, fuck NFT. It was kind of a fucking both. Because I don't know, GT. I feel like these events are underwhelming and underdone. And they get a lot of respect, a lot of clout from this community they don't deserve. I look at NFT Paris and I'm like, that is how you run that is how we run events, baby. I look at our Basel and I'm like, yes. That is the one. But when I look at this, GT, when I look at NFT NYC, I just don't feel like it lives up to the standards. And I 100% agree that we are so tight-knit, we're so niche, that we have to lift each other up. But at the same time, GT, if there is a weak link, do we have to drag that motherfucker to Valhalla with us? Or can we just chop it off and cut the dead weight?
Bro, I love it, dude. I actually love what you said. But I can't have you up here, dude, disrespecting VCon. Listen, put Gary V aside.
Oh, hey!
I don't even need Gary
My bad! Fair!
The community at VCon shits on every other convention. I've been telling you guys, it's fucking cheap. Indianapolis is cheap. The fucking convention is cheap. I really don't understand. You're flying to LA, bro. I don't even want to know how much that costs. Listen, I fucking was looking at my tickets to Indianapolis. Like, that's all I'm saying. Like, if you really are here and you really want to fucking build, okay, go to VCon. Like, not for anybody. Don't go for me. Go for your fucking self, because I promise you, those people that go to that event are here to fucking change not only the world, but this fucking space.
I love it. And I apologize. When I miss something and I have FOMO, GT, I just pretend it doesn't exist. Right? I just pretend like it doesn't. Like, to me, those owls that pumped the other day, they don't even exist. I couldn't tell you what they look like. Couldn't tell you the founders. Couldn't tell you the name of the collection. And VCon, couldn't tell you what it looks like. Couldn't tell you where it is. Couldn't tell you anything about it. Although I heard it was a banger and everyone and their mama's grandma was there as well. So I definitely got some FOMO. I'm definitely going to be missing out. And look, if we're going to praise quality conferences and we're going to give VCon the nod, we got to show some love to Proof as well. But look, on that note, we got a few more hands to go too. I mean, look, we got the CEO of Instagram itself, Web3 Stupid. He's got 8 minutes until the lunch break ends, and he tried to duck me. Hold on, chat. How funny is this? This MFer comes here every day talking about TGs. Skip the line for me. I only got 4 minutes. TJ, I got 2 minutes, lunch ends. And the one day that there is real Instagram fun, he acts like his schedule changed. I'm like, motherfucker, I have your Google Calendar. Stoopy, I'm going to tell you what's going on, baby. How you doing? How's that ham and cheese with the sun chips on the side? And how are we feeling about Instagram today?
I mean, third guy, I will eat my words. I will say, yes, I was out here pumping my Instagram bags. I was trying to get y'all on that flow. Apparently, Instagram did not have my back, though. They let me down. They're getting rid of this. They're sunsetting this digital collectibles feature. I don't know if it means it'll never
What
come
do you mean by
back.
sunsetting?
It means that they're retiring it.
Just say it!
The phrase that they're using. But like I said, they're not it's the end of a day, like a sunset, right? But it's not they're closing it entirely. So who knows what'll happen in 2 years when we're all back on this NFT flow and everyone's talking NFTs. They'll just flip the switch, turn that thing back on, and we'll all be over there on Instagram flexing our new NFTs. So I don't know. I am still bullish on Instagram. I don't know if you guys actually have used TikTok. But TikTok is not great for community development. It's not like an intuitive function. It's not easy to stay on top of what's happening. I feel like Instagram does have a lot more going for it. So I'll still make content on Instagram over TikTok. But I am let down that Instagram, turned their back on me.
Yeah, they did. Look, there's like 5 people in this space that are a ride or die with fucking Instagram. It should feel personal. It should genuinely feel personal. Because to me, I saw that, and my first reaction was like, no, stoop! I was like, stupid Instagram, stupid! Like, why are you doing this, stupid? Let me ask you this, though, Web3 Stoop, because he said sunset and not abolish. Are you saying they closed the book, they closed the chapter, but they left a bookmark in it just in case?
Yeah, I mean, I think similar to what Instagram does is they'll test out a feature, they'll give it 3 months, kind of see how it does. If no one was using it, which I didn't see too many people using it, they'll retire it. If demand kicks back up and people want to see it more, we can start to request that feature again. But I think the tools that they're trying to create for creators. Not a lot of creators, except for these Twitter MFers that are in here every day making NFTs. No one's really going to Instagram for NFT research, so I think they want to focus on other tools instead. But I don't think the chapter's closed. I think it'll be a little flip of a switch. We'll have digital collectibles back on when everyone is back on that grind. But no one's even making content. The before, right? Like you had finance accounts that had hundreds of thousands of followers making NFT content. You had these entrepreneur mentor coaches talking about NFTs. You had the internet marketers, the Dan Kings and the copywriters all talking about NFTs. Now no one's talking about it, so Instagram kind of had to change their thing. So now I don't think that it's gone, but I do think for now there's just no demand for it, and they don't have time for it.
Yeah, this is what I think is, you mentioned it, is all these sort of tweener pages that post finance, but whatever's hot, post motivational shit, but we'll talk about whatever's hot, that post business stuff, but we'll talk about whatever's hot, is they didn't stop caring about NFTs. They just started caring about AI. Because that's where everyone that isn't like a diehard JPEG enjoyer that has their entire life savings invested in a Bored Ape, so they have no choice but to be bullish. We're talking about NFTs and crypto because it was hot and it was getting views and people had no fucking clue what was going on. And they're like, what is this? What is it? They're making content that's flying. Numbers are pumping. Engagement on 1 million. And what happened is we nuked. NFTs became cringe. Well, NFTs were always cringe. But NFTs just became like particularly cringe in the eyes of the public. Crypto dumped, so no one cared about ETH or Cardano anymore, and then AI started flying. So all the people that were sort of in between could go either way, pro NFT, anti NFT, but we're pro NFT because the views were pumping. It's not that they hate NFTs, but it's just they like AI more because the AI content gets more views. Is sort of how I'm seeing it. So it's like at this point in the market, unless you're a diehard JPEG MFer or a crypto MFer, you're not talking about either because the public doesn't give a fuck. is sort of how I see it. And second thing I want to say, and I'm going to go to some hands. I actually want to get a legal opinion on this. Is the Instagram NFT rollout was pitiful. Like it was awful. It
Whoa, whoa,
was.
whoa, 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 whoa! I will
Excuse me.
interject here. I will
Yeah,
interject.
you may
But
interject, Stu. You may cut in and give your rebuttal. Go ahead. I'll let you defend yourself before I absolutely rip it apart.
that's fine. I can do that. I'll say rebuttal wise, the fact that they had like we have the hexagon PFP on Twitter, but they had a glimmer effect that
Which was also dog shit,
which
by
you
the way.
disconnected, it would turn it back to a regular post. I don't know. Like I think it was pretty unique compared to anything else that we've seen. I mean, you get zero anything on NFT TikTok and Twitter. You get a hexagon BFP, but nothing else. You can't even like hexagon a post or post out of your wallet like, "Hey guys, I just picked up this." It's kind of I don't know. I think at least they had something that could distinguish a digital collectible to a regular post, which I thought was pretty novel compared to any other social media platform. But I will say it could have been better, and I think the rollout could have been better as well. I will give you that.
So we're comparing it to hexagons, but I think hexagons are awful. I think the intent makes sense. But bro, they rolled out hexagons to like 2% of the world and only ETH and just like stopped. You know what I mean? So it's almost like hexagon. The idea made sense, and honestly, day one, week one, the hexagon hype was real, and it was genuinely a thing where if you had a hexagon, you were getting more engagement. I'm not sure if they were pushing it or it was for the novelty or what, but that was the thing. Sort of how the blue check mark equals engagement. The hexagons were the same way. So I think the idea was cool. Execution awful, awful execution. I mean, off. I mean, we're. This is what Twitter does. This is what Twitter does. And now you got me sidetracked. You got me monologuing on something. But this is what Twitter likes to do: is they roll out a feature that's cool. People like it. It solves a problem, but then they just neglect it. Like, what about Spaces? I mean, they haven't updated a thing to Spaces except for the smooth jazz intro in 2 years. You still can't use it on a desktop. You still don't have a chat. There's still no screen share, video. There's nothing. There is nothing whatsoever. The same thing they did with NFT verification. It's like they rolled it out when NFTs were hot and they were popping and they were cool. And then they were kind of like, maybe we shouldn't have done that. And so they just like pretended like they never did it, which is absurd to me. It's like go one way or the other, but the pretending and staying in the middle. No one wins in the middle, in my opinion. That's what I found. I found that more often than not, move and speak in absolutes work better than being in the middle, because at least with absolutes you get an answer one way or the other. Like at least you know, and you're not just like stuck. I'm like 70-30 on that. Like I don't know. I'm not a big fan of like 70-30, 60-40. It's like, are we in or we out, motherfucker? Like let's do it. And Instagram NFT rollout to me was awful. It was awful. I mean, what was it? What was it? They got 5 NFT artists to do a quick mint that no one had any idea was happening, had no clue how to mint it. They were extremely low supply. Like the legend Vinny Hager did it was like a 20 edition size, which is awesome, but like it's not onboarding. You know what I mean? Like I felt like they went to the approach like we're gonna onboard people on Instagram as we roll these out, and it was catered to the degens. Nobody was on board, and no one had any clue what was happening. And then they just added a little post feature that makes it look like the same way that a tweet that's promoted, like you see it and you're like, that's a promoted tweet. That's what the Instagram NFT verification looks like. It looks like what a promoted Instagram post looked like. So the second you see it subconsciously, you just keep scrolling. You just keep scrolling. And Stoop, I know you got lunch. So before I go to any other hands, I want to go to Malik. Before I do, I'll throw it back to you, Stoopy. How are those sun chips, my friend?
They were delicious. It was a mouthful of sunshine with every bite. But I will say, I think people also need to recognize that Instagram, like its inception, it was supposed to be a contact book where you could upload a photo of your friend and have their number saved. Then they transitioned to a photo and video app, right? So they had a feed that would create content, or content creators could start to post the creations that they were making. Now I believe, and I've seen this through Facebook and through Instagram, they're now switching to like an e-commerce platform. So they're more going for the ability to go on the app and buy things you need, just like you do with Amazon. And so I'm not, again, I'm not bearish on Instagram as a whole, but I do believe that right now there aren't enough creators going onto the platform and they're not making enough sales. So I think they do need to shore up some of like the e-commerce, and then the easy switch to once more people get into NFTs, start to understand that we have more infrastructure built out on NFTs and Web3. It will be that easy switch, and they'll have a place that, like you said, you can sell. Drifter dropped a piece and I want to say 50-piece collection on Instagram. It sold out in like 30 seconds for $1,000 a pop. That netted Drift 50 grand right there.
Facts, but
right.
Drift is netting the 50 grand on any other platform. Like he could have dropped that shit on Blur, on OpenSea, on Magic, on Fair, on Manifold, and he's raising the same amount. It's kind of how I like that. To me, super cool. Cool that he did a drop natively through Instagram, but it does nothing for Instagram. Quite frankly, it does nothing for the creator either. You're just bringing your shit to a new platform, but I don't feel like anyone necessarily wins in that scenario. Instagram doesn't win because, first of all, they didn't make any money that moves the needle. So you look at it, okay, what about adoption? What about community building? Well, the only people that got it came from Twitter, came from the Twitter Web3 community. And then on the other side, I don't really feel like the creator wins either because they just minted out the same collection they could have minted out anywhere else, except they did it on Instagram and no one has any fucking clue how to get it or how to buy it on secondary. It's sort of how I see it. But I do hear your point, like GG on the 50 racks. But I'm just saying the point, it could have happened anywhere. But the second thing I want to say, and then I'll shut the fuck up and go to some hands, is I wanted to take credit for this thought. I won't. Udi yesterday said that he believes the only reason they implemented NFTs in the way that they did is, yo, FFV, I just saw your reply tweet. I'm geeked. Bro does look like me. But what Udi said is the only reason they rolled this out is a way to sort of try to loophole bypass the 30% Apple tax. Because if you look at it, first of all, that's the reason that none of these fucking marketplaces have apps. Like OpenSea, you can't buy or sell or do anything on the OpenSea app because they want 30%, which is heinous. Like imagine if Marketplace took a 30% fee, they would die. So what you could do on Instagram is you could literally natively type in your credit card through Instagram, which you can't do anywhere else, which I didn't even think about it. I did not even think about it. You could go on Instagram, you could type in your credit card information directly integrated into IG and then purchase it there. And then if you notice, like 3-ish months ago, when Instagram integrated this, Apple went over crazy about censoring and canceling NFTs, right? Like any app, any infrastructure on Apple that had anything to do with NFTs, they were like, ban hammer, you get a ban, you get a ban, you get a ban. They were throwing those motherfuckers out like Oprah, $100,000. And it happened at the exact same time. And I didn't even think about it until he said that yesterday. And I was like, oh, that's a really good thought. I'm going to steal that and say it on Spaces tomorrow. So that's kind of where I'm at with it. I want to get a couple opinions. I want to go to Malik, and I want to go to Sneaker Dad to start, and we got to go to Kiro. So Malik, I'm going to start with you. I mean, you got the look. Hey, Double A, I better not see any more thumbs downs unless I see a request button. Malik, I'm starting with you. I mean, what do you think about fucking Instagram NFTs and the rollout? Do you think it was trying to loophole around the Apple 30% tax and they failed? Or where do you think they're coming from?
Yeah, I think that's a great theory, man. And at the end of the day, they're beholden to Apple. Obviously, they're part of the App Store, and that's where they get most of their downloads. So yeah, it makes sense that that's maybe why they went that way and why they ultimately stopped. I actually prefer that narrative to something a little like scarier, like Facebook, Meta, whatever. They got some info. They know that SEC's coming and cracking down on this shit. And so they decided to get out early.
Oh, no.
That's the other kind of theory there, is that they're aware of something and maybe they got some notices, maybe they just got some inquiries or heard it through the grapevine, and that's why they're trying to get out before they get damaged. I will choose to believe the one that doesn't end with all of NFTs getting fucking destroyed. So yeah, I'm going with Udi's theory on this. Also, okay. I just want to add a little clarification. I hate it when like complex corporate legal terms get thrown around It's not easy for people to understand. So earlier we were talking about sunsetting. Sunsetting is just corporate legal for rugging. So yeah, Instagram rugging NFTs.
So what are you saying, Malik? They closed that book and they pulled that bookmark right out of it.
Bro, they pulled that fucking rug so hard we're still in the air spinning.
Okay. Stoopy, I'm sorry, my friend. You should have gone back to work when it was time. You've been on break 7 minutes late, and you just keep hearing bad news after bad news. So that is unfortunate. But Malik, I do appreciate the take. Let me ask you, Malik, and I'm gonna go to Sneaker Dad. Is what do you think about the Instagram NFTs rollout as they tried it? Like, do you think they overpromised, underperformed? Like, what exactly was going on there?
Yeah, I thought it was a little bit half-assed. We all thought that it was gonna start like just dip their toe in, see what's up, see how it feels, see if people like it, and then kind of continue on. But the thing is, they've got the resources, they have the ability, right, and the devs and all the back end to do this in like a much more robust manner. And so yeah, I think that if that was their approach, was like, hey, let's test the waters, I think it was a bad approach. I think you kind of just hit it hard, promote the shit out of it, get people really talking about it, get people using it. And that's how you kind of force the growth. Having famous artists from over here go over there to launch a collection, like you said, Shooter was gonna sell out no matter what. It doesn't fucking matter, right? So it's like you can get, and it's all the same people. It's just people from over here from Twitter going over there to buy a collection that they know was going to be worth something.
That's the thing.
So you have to like create. I was underwhelmed because I thought they were going to be building up, and the word was, oh, they're talking to all these badass artists, people who haven't done NFT projects yet, and they're going to be launching over there, and that's what's going to bring the eyes in. That's what's going to bring people over. But using artists that have already kind of done stuff, it's just it's played out, and like why would you go there and stay there? That's the idea, is that you want people to go there and stay there, or new people who are already there to start using it, and I think they failed in that regard.
Yeah, I think it's a good take. They definitely could have done some cool stuff onboarding new artists into NFTs, but they didn't do any of it. They did nothing. They didn't onboard anyone. They didn't make any money. They didn't make any noise. They didn't do anything. They just wasted everyone's time. Is kind of how I see it. Not to hate on Instagram, but honestly, yes, to hate on Instagram. Like I don't like Instagram. I don't like Meta, and I'm sorry, but if there's a cheap shot to take, I'm cashing those motherfuckers in. I'm sorry, but look, I'm going to Sneaker Dad. We got to go to Kiro. We got to go to Double. We got to go to Slime. We got to go to Victoria. We got a lot of hands to get through. So, Sneaker Dad, I'm starting with you. You sent me a DM about IG, so I'm kind of curious to get your thoughts, get your take. I mean, what the fuck is going on with this sunset?
I was surprised because I just signed an NDA like a week ago.
No.
Not to work there, like with artists and stuff. Like I have talked to them for a while, and I will say, like, I agree that they're maybe like how some of their stuff has come out recently, like their marketing wasn't great, but I will say they did have larger plans, like the team, the small team that was like really in the weeds of it all. But that sucks, is like they clearly were not notified about what happened, or if they were, it wasn't until the end, because like I was just doing a little like sleuthing and stuff, and they were liking all of the shade, like all the comments about shade being thrown about Instagram. They were liking it, and like it was very clear, like from like the DMs and stuff, like they were not happy. I don't know if they're gonna get fired. Maybe it's because they're getting fired. I don't know if they are or aren't, but it just seems like there was a triaged plan that like I was talking to them about people not necessarily in the NFT space or like very outside of it, and it was more to bring in people that may or may not know the people, because they're like, okay, we've kind of hit we did that, like we need to do something else to try and like grow this sort of thing. So like I'm it sucks. Like, feel free to roast them. I'm like wondering if it's like the whole like what Udi said, like it like I don't know.
So what do you think about that take? You think that's on the money?
I think there's legs to it. Because like I don't know, it just seems so like they had invested in it. It's a drop in the hat compared to relative to how much they make, but like they had invested overall, like whether it's Facebook and then Instagram, but Meta as a whole has invested so much money into like this area, so it just seems so far fetched. I mean, maybe I don't know. It seems like they have invested so much money. Maybe I'm wrong, Ahmed. I don't know, but
Yeah.
it
So
seemed like they had invested billions, if I'm not mistaken. It said they had taken a lot of losses, which is fine, but they said they had lost billions of dollars, which I would assume means they had spent billions of dollars. So, yeah. Anyways, I'm not too happy about it, but it is what it is. I was very shocked because they
okay.
definitely had plans.
Well, here's my thing: is I feel pretty strongly that this had to have been the Apple thing, and they were trying to find a loophole. Because here's why. Here's why. They fucking changed their name to Meta, dude. Like this isn't like Twitter rolls out NFT verification. They're like, actually, we don't want to do that. Or like Discord announces NFT integrations, which they did, and then a month later are like, maybe we shouldn't do it. Their name is Meta. So you know for a fact that this is the direction that they are going. They didn't just wake up and are like, maybe we should fuck around with those non-fungible tokens and see if Instagram likes them. Like, no. This is the plan. Like, this is where it's going. This is the future. So to just throw out like a half-assed,
Yo,
hold,
yo, what's up?
No. I see a hand up, and I see a hand that was not called up yet. Holy, there's a line. There is a line on number. Look, here's my thing: is that this is their plan. Like this is where it is going. We know their name is Meta. It is Meta, META, as in metaverse. We know where it's going. So to just half-ass this rollout to me doesn't make any sense. It's nothing but a bad look, and it makes me feel pretty strongly that it was bait. Like it had to have been bait, and they were just testing the waters. You know when I don't fish, but you know when you like you bring out your pole and you like tap the water a few times to see if some little fishies swim around. They were tapping the water. They put the left pinky toe in. They decided it was too cold. It wasn't gonna work, and they weren't going full body in. It's sort of how I see it. I mean, I might be crazy, but look, I want to go to some hands. Let's go to double. Let's go to Kiro, and we'll go from there. I mean, Double A, you're throwing me thumbs down for what? You disagree with my take? What's going on?
I mean, yeah, for sure. The future is not like them selling NFTs in Instagram, right? Their future is selling NFTs in VR headsets in the Meta platform. So I think this, like everyone knows, even your best friend Gabe knows that all app developers understand the 30% take. So if they really had interest in selling these NFTs, it would be no problem to sell them through the in-app purchases. Get some Meta coins, currency, use that, then you buy the NFT that way, do all the stuff in the background, no problem. You know, I think.
So what was this rollout then? So what was the goal?
A lot of people got fired. I mean, 10,000 people just lost their job right after this announcement, right? So I think they're scaling back, and they said whatever team started this got cut based on the economy, and they said, look, we don't need this. Let's just cut this out because we're getting rid of 10,000 more people. And I think the team, whoever brought this up, got cut, and they went back to what the real future is, which is their Meta platform and what they should be doing there. And when they're ready to bring NFTs, they'll bring it on their own platform. That's how they're going to cut out Apple, not by like trying to find some little loopholes to sell a couple NFTs. Like we're talking billions of dollars here, not like a drift or shoot drop that makes.
Okay, so what I struggle with then is why even launch 5 NFT collections and just fuck around and see. Like, what's the point? What do you gain?
Some MF in the campus was like, hey, let's play with NFTs. And they said, yeah, let's do it.
So they put 10,000 employees on it?
No, yeah, they hire 1 out of 10,000 actually does some work. So one of those 10,000 people had this idea and they happened to get it through and then they got cut.
Okay.
That's what I think.
Well, you said 10,000 got laid off because of it, which I disagree with.
Well, not because of this. I think this got laid off because of that.
But what I don't get is like, okay, you said they have this calculated dial plan that they're going to sell NFTs in the VR and in the metaverse and so on and so forth. They got the goggles on, the Oculus, whatever it is. But if that's the plan, then why fuck around and waste your time doing this? Like, what was the point? I know it was low lift.
Just like Twitter did.
I know, but it's different because Twitter isn't named Meta, and their future is not revolving around selling NFTs in the metaverse. Like
The Meta is not revolved around selling NFTs.
I know, but not just selling NFTs.
Meta put on like literally curated, like it's by Meta. There's no like NFTs by Twitter.
Exactly. Like Twitter is not dependent on the metaverse for the future, but like Meta, that's where this is what they're doing. This is where they're going. So if that's where you're going, why would you even waste? I know it's low lift. I know they didn't probably spend that much or waste that much, but why? Like, why waste any? Why even? Because it just looks bad to walk back on something you did. It's just like it makes me feel like they have no clue what they're doing, which they probably don't. But it just doesn't make sense to me. Double Eight.
I mean, yeah, it doesn't make much sense, and it does look bad, right? Like, why not just keep it going, even if it's minimalistic? At least you have some presence there. So yeah, it's definitely odd that they decided to sunset it so quickly. So I agree. I just don't think it has to do with the Apple cut, because they're already familiar with that.
Okay.
And they can get around that easily. I don't know.
Well,
the scale of it is way more important than like the 30% cut, right? If you can get iPhone users and everything to use that product enough, it'll be worth it for them.
Okay. Well, thanks for the take. Look, I got to go to the co-host, and we got 3 hands who haven't spoken. I'm going to all of them. We're running through those motherfuckers. And then we got some more topics, because I promise you I hate Instagram.
Are we logging?
Excuse me? Can you not hear me?
Now we can.
No, you could before. We could before. You couldn't. Kiro! You got your hand up, baby. It's been a long time. I missed your voice. Mr. Bad Takes. What's good, Poppy? How you doing? How you feeling? How are you living? What are your thoughts on Instagram?
Brother, I'm glad you took the day off yesterday because you didn't need these bozo takes. I don't know what the hell Meta's doing. They got a lizard guy fucking in control over there. They should be making better moves. They got people with fucking 20 million fucking followers, and they didn't get those guys to promote this shit. They don't know what the fuck they're doing. Even I know better, and I'm a clone bozo. So I think they missed the mark with this. You're absolutely right. I don't know what the fuck this bozo with the double apes is talking about. He has.
Has anyone even confirmed if he has 2 apes?
Yeah, he does. And I would think someone with 2 apes would be a lot smarter than this. Like just like in general, bro. Like this guy's a fucking epic game dev, but he can't fucking reason with himself on why Meta's a shitty company.
Well, debate me on it, because I feel like I had a great take there. It's a very logical
Yeah,
explanation.
you felt like you had a great take, but all the thumbs down said otherwise.
That means like they had a bad take.
I think it's great, but it's garbage.
How? But you didn't explain how. You're just saying, "Oh, this
being objective here, bro."
Yeah, we but objectively add some value.
You have a clone, probably. That's why your take was even worse today.
I had a clone, yeah, until they fucking dumped that shit.
Yeah, you dumped your clone?
Yeah, and he kept a Moonbird. That's how smart.
No, I got rid of my Moonbird too.
Yeah, right.
I took an L on that shit, on both of them.
Bro, I took an L. I took an L minting, and then buying it at fucking 24E. I'm still pissed off, bro.
Me too, but that doesn't mean my take was bad.
A lot of these guys feel about buying a fucking drifter shoots that has no marketplace. It's pretty fucking wild. Like imagine fucking being Meta and just running a hard rug.
Yeah, but it's still on the blockchain, right? To be honest. Isn't the drifter shoot NFT still on the blockchain? What blockchain?
It's on OpenSea. It's on OpenSea. So
it's not like they made their own chain.
Oh, I thought they went on Flow because that seemed like something a lizard man would do.
Why would any project ever do that? Launch something on Flow.
Bro, my fucking NBA Top Shop bags want to know the same damn thing.
Okay, I do too. And my Doodles bags that I don't have because I would never do such a thing. Look, we got 3 hands that haven't spoken, and then we're going to circle back around to Malik. I'm going to start with Ahmed. We're going to go to Victoria. We're going to go to Big Z. Ahmed, what's good, baby? How you doing? How you feeling? How you living?
What's up, lovely people? I've never been on this stage. Holy crap, love the energy. And also, Gentle Tornado. Are we fucking riding or what, my friend? But my hot take on this is that 2 prongs. And Double Apple, I think, kind of took a lot out of my mouth in the sense of it comes with so many factors. Acquisition cost for what they were trying to do is substantially large in the sense of they are a social media platform. They are introducing new technology to a wide array of audience who doesn't come necessarily from anything from Web3. They don't even know what an NFT is if they tried, right? The way they went about dropping it with the limited partnerships they had wasn't a large enough spectrum to onboard their users. And the reason I say that is they didn't do it in a constructive way where they actually educated their users what they're doing and why they're doing it. They just assumed because they garnish, hundreds of millions of billions of active users that they were able to kind of drop the ball and be like, all right, here we go, like we're gonna rock, but it completely backfired in their face. And then second to that as well, I definitely think that sunsetting it is in retrospect to what's going on in the macroeconomy side of things. Them cutting 10,000 jobs, I believe, as of today or yesterday, definitely had something to do with it. Usually with tech platforms in general, when they are introducing new verticals and pillars, those are the first to go. So it only kind of, I guess, made sense to follow suit with that. I think that they could have done an extremely better job at it, but they dropped the ball in how they wanted to onboard not just current users, but new users to their marketplace. And also the way they deployed strategic partnerships, I think, was completely flawed. So that's my take.
I think it's generally a good take. The one thing I struggle with, though, is how could they have expected this to be successful? Like, they knew this shit was going to be a flop. Like, they saw Twitter verification. I mean, even Reddit NFTs. Like, I feel like they should have known this was going to be a flop because they did absolutely fucking nothing to ensure it wasn't.
Can I try to answer that?
I would love for you to.
One of the biggest things that Meta has over a lot of tech companies or companies as a whole is data points on their users, right? So now we're talking about Amazon coming in and building an NFT marketplace in late April, right? And one of the biggest reasons people are so excited, they're like, oh my God, there's hundreds of millions of people active on Amazon. That does not mean that they're going to see success there. How they choose to approach that vertical and choose to approach their marketplace is how they see success. Now with Meta, they were, I believe, if I'm not mistaken, they utilized the Polygon blockchain because it had the best UI UX and it was great for onboarding. But it was a gamble on the fact that they garnish and have so many active users that even if they could try and capture 1% or 2% of that, that's what, in retrospect, the bet could have been on rather than, we know we have an active Web3 community, etc., and we're just going to drop this out there and we know people are going to eat it up. So they based it on kind of like law of stats. You knock on 100 doors, one is bound to open. But with them, it was we have hundreds of millions of active users. Some of them are gonna try to jump into the space, and or those who are already in the space are gonna try to explore here because they're gonna be the leaders. So that would be kind of my personal take on that.
Okay, I think it's a decent one. But if they knew any fucking better, they wouldn't have done low supply, low edition degen mints, and they would have rolled out the goddamn NFT to every person that owns an Instagram handle. Like, it's kind of where Reddit at least found a way to get their actual users NFTs and not just port Twitter users over to Reddit to buy an NFT and go back to Twitter. Like, that to me is sort of the disconnect that I'm struggling with. We got two more hands, and I got to go back to Malik and Double. We got Victoria on stage. Victoria, how are you doing? How are you feeling? How is it going? What's on your mind? What do you think about Instagram?
GM, love the energy of this space. So I actually wrote a thread this morning. Like, I woke up and I started writing a thread about it because I was like, I think a lot of people will be curious to know what's going on. So my final thought, like, I'm into the social media thing for like past 2 years. I kind of feel like one of these days we're going to be hosting Twitter Spaces and saying rest in peace Instagram. Like, it feels like Instagram is trying to do like, first we have seen the TikTokanization of Instagram. Then they have tried NFTs, hoping that the crypto Twitter community going to move there. Try to collaborate with one of the biggest names when it comes to artists in the space. And finally, it feels like that they haven't even done their research, and even the TikTokanization of Instagram is not really working for them. And and on top of that, like the 10,000 people laid off and things like that, like, I don't know, for some reason, like, it feels like they're doing anything at this point just to survive. So yeah, that's my final thought on Instagram.
Okay, I think it's a good one. And shout out you for writing threads. At least it makes one of us posted a thread in the last year. Look, I gotta go to Big Z, and then we're going to Malik, we're going to Double. Z, what's good, baby? How you doing? How you feeling? What's going on? Talk to me.
Yeah, GM, and I haven't been on the spaces to speak that much, so really appreciate
be here, and thanks for hosting. I love the energy, man. Everybody's here is absolutely crazy, and it's insane. I thought I gonna jump on this one because I think I have a bit of insider knowledge and a bit of alpha on this topic
I was
because
gonna say, if you're bringing the alpha, you better come with some substance.
It's coming, fam. It's coming. So like, look. So what we are building here is this is not a show, yeah. But
Oh,
building,
it sounds like
no.
one Z. It
I'm
sounds
building
awfully
social
similar
NFTs.
to a show.
No. I'm building social NFTs, so I know quite well, sort of like the TikTok people, some people that work in Meta as well. Um, we have quite a good knowledge of like what's the vision, what they're kind of going trying to do. And I completely agree that this was a big L, but for a while now for Instagram, because like the main issue for them, and same similar to TikTok when they try to roll out like sort of collectibles last year, is they haven't found the right product market fit. Right, so they're trying to be experimental, and they haven't found the right product market fit to gonna find the right niche for like the product. And I think the biggest L that Meta took is they put all these resources behind it, and then uh, one of the most obvious things that they could have done, and that probably they could have been a leader in this space, is instead of trying to copy a bunch of other features from other platforms that they do better, like us or like all these profile pictures, what they could have done is they should have focused on content collectibles, which I think is going to be the future. It's going to be something that will be the next bull run, right? So content collectibles are essentially a piece of internet culture content that could be collected, and I think that's what's going to bring really the masses. If you think of it, like in like the last 1 2 years, the biggest, most high profile sales in NFT space has been these sort of memes, right? Doge, Jack Dorsey's tweet, disaster girl. All these memes have accrued like incredible value, like in millions and millions and millions, but somehow like nobody's talking about it. There's no volume. It's kind of the biggest open secret in NFTs if you think about it, right? So um, I think the reason behind it is that there's not really a platform and an ecosystem that would specifically build and empower people to trade and create these. Now, those guys and Meta and TikTok as well, they had the perfect hand to play into this, into what will be the next bull run, content collectibles. Yet they just completely missed the mark on that, and then instead they try to chase trends because they're completely normies, right? And I think that's what's gonna happen here. We are the people who are gonna build this. We will build this new content collectible wave, yeah, and they'll come to us when that's gonna pop in the next cycle. If you think of it, like if all these apes that we have here, we love them, right? We love all these PFPs. This is something that geeks like us on the internet we love. But what is gonna bring the masses to crypto for like collectibles will be content that people already know. So when I tell my mom about my apes and stuff, she thinks I'm stupid, right? But if I tell her that she can collect, for example, the Gangnam Style video as an NFT, she gets that.
Really?
So so this is, I think, really this is the alpha. The alpha is the next wave will be content collectible. It's already slowly happening in music. If any of you are following the music space, look at the Dune Analytics for Sound XYZ. It's the only thing that's going exponential right now, right? It's still very slow. So the alpha is content NFTs, music. It's gonna be videos. It's gonna be viral, iconic moments. This is gonna be the next phase.
Okay.
And yeah,
Well,
TikTok's try that, and Instagram's try that, but they don't know what the fuck they're doing. Anyway, so that's a little bit of my alpha. We're building exactly that if you wanna check, but this is not a show
there
space.
it
So
is. Yeah, there it
just,
is.
of course, I have to plug it in, man. Come on, I didn't give so much time. I have to plug it a little bit. You gotta give me.
All right. Okay. Here's my thing. I think the thesis makes sense. I think where you're coming from is a solid thought. We just haven't seen it. Like, we haven't seen it at all, actually. We haven't even seen it in the slightest bit. Like, I think someone bought the Charlie Bit My Finger NFT, like, peak bull run for, like, 50 racks, and that was the extent
No, it was
of...
700 grand, bro. 700 grand, I think it was.
Oh, I'm sorry for whoever bought that.
I know all of those drops.
Well, here's the thing. It's just, like, even, like, music NFTs, I think are super cool and have a lot of potential, a big future. but it's just not there yet. Like the narrative just isn't there yet, and I don't think the fact that it's a music NFT is novel enough to start the run, to start the trend, to start the meta.
That's what people were saying in 2018 about CryptoPunks, right? CryptoPunks were how much in 2017?
I know, but CryptoPunks
$60?
CryptoPunks don't. They're kind of in a league of their own. Like the CryptoPunks narrative is basically completely different from every other popular PFP's. The narrative for CryptoPunks is there is no narrative.
Wait. My point is the content NFTs will be like our CryptoPunks in 2017-18 right now. People sleeping on them because.
But what are they? Like what does that even mean? A content and like where is it? What does that even mean?
So let's say if you can collect now, let's say a super viral meme. Like let's say you can collect the fuck around find out meme.
Okay, why is nobody doing it?
Well, we're doing it. Like we're gonna dropping the fuck around find out meme in actually a couple of months.
But wait, hold on. Hold on. How do you even get like the jurisdiction to launch the fuck around and find out meme? Like how do you even get the rights to say that you own the meme?
So Rose is scared. The guy who made that meme, he's jumping on a platform and dropping that as an NFT. Right now, just go on my profile, check it out. We dropping that as a meme, and also the Pop Ice Kid meme. That kid as well is dropping the meme directly.
What's the second one?
Huh?
What was the second
Pop
one?
Ice Kid. If you just go on my profile and click on
I can't do that.
Okay, that's fine. But like, you guys can do it. Like we dropping two super viral memes. It's just a start, but we dropping music videos, all that stuff. These creators, we build a platform where creators should come and do that.
Maybe
especially what Instagram should have done. But
maybe I sound like a right click saver, bro. And I'm gonna go to some hands. I want to get some opinions. I want to go. To
I agree with him. Okay.
Okay.
Sorry. Go ahead to Malik, but I totally agree with what he said.
Okay. Thank you for the stamp of approval, Victoria.
No, I mean, I do have a point to make, but like, I want to be.
Well, we'll go to some hands. This is what I want to say. Is maybe I sound like a total boomer right click saver, but I don't know. Something about the memes, the NFT memes, just like doesn't hit me the same as a PFP. Especially when you can just search the little GIF library and it's just there. I don't know. Maybe I'm
literally what they say about apes, right? Like you can save it.
It's just but I don't even want to pull the utility card. Here's what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna shut the fuck up. I'm gonna call on Malik for this one. Malik, what do you think about NFT memes and content meta? What do you think about this?
Yeah, man. I think that despite one of the worst fucking sales pitches I've ever heard, homeboy here is actually onto something.
Really? Hey, that sales pitch was mid. Let
me give you the streamlined elevator pitch version of this. Okay, feel free to steal it and use it all the time. Basically, meme culture is inextricably tied to NFT culture. We see it right now. All in everything, right? Fucking look at Pepe's. Anything with a fucking Pepe runs, right? We see it with 100 other different memes. All we do on the timeline is fucking meme. It's the only reason sappy seals are fucking worth anything, right? Is they're just like the loudest, best memers on the timeline. And the fact is, people fucking love the memes, right? So I think that there is value there. I think there's a cultural connection there already baked into not just the NFT market, but the bigger market as a whole. Where Instagram fucked up is that they basically are, for a lot of things, or they were, TikTok now a little bit more, but they were the hub for memes, right? So imagine if every time Fuck Jerry puts out some new original content that's hilarious, he turns that into a fucking 50-piece collection and sells those, right? Like there's a market for this that I do think people would actually buy it just from the pure collection and like social value standpoint. So I do think that there's something there. And I do think that if people can do this and act, the problem with memes though, is that everyone just kind of like rips off each other's shit. And you got to find out who actually created that meme.
Yeah, how do you like figure that part out? And then what if you make a meme with someone else's IP
but
and
here,
shit too?
but here's
Oh! Woo! We're spicy today. We are back. Look, we're going to go to the hands. I promise. We're going to go to, we're going to get the opinions. I got to go back to Malik, though. Malik, I mean, what happens if because here's the thing about memes, is they're just a big cob job mashup of all types of memes as well. So like, what happens if I make a Sappy Seal meme and I have like 4 different people's seals IP? I use a part of someone else's meme. I use a part of this picture and a part of that picture to make my quote-unquote original. meme. I mean, how do you claim that, Malik?
Yeah, so it's funny because like the question that you ask actually, in a way, proves the value of doing this as NFTs on the blockchain, right? Because it's like, hey, how do we know who created this meme first, right? And in a lot of ways, if this becomes the meta and people realize that, like, hey, the fastest and easiest way to like secure my IP rights or my I got here first and thought of this fucking joke first rights is by putting it on the chain, then that drives value to those meme creators and that incentivizes them to actually use the tech. So there's something interesting there in terms of like, what if you're using, which often happens, pictures that were taken by someone else or art that belongs to someone else or all these other things, that's where shit gets a little bit hairy. But on the flip side, if people are putting it on chain and people are actually profiting from it, then that you now have, if they use your ape in a meme, now who you can go after to say, hey, you use my shit, I want money for it, right? So it actually not only incentivizes the creators who are doing original stuff as a way to protect their IP, but it also gives people whose stuff might get stolen or used or however you want to call it, a target to actually go after to claim whatever they're entitled to.
Okay. Well, thank you for the take. Look, here's what we're gonna do: is Double is wave, and I want to go to Double. I want to go to Victoria, and I want to go back to Z, and I gotta go to Dev Alec. We got a lot of hands. We gotta get through them. So let's make this shit snappy. Double Ape, your thumbs down. I'm not sure why. What are your thoughts on content NFTs?
I mean, I think it's a cool idea, but I think Bitcoin ordinals have already done this, right? It sounds like you're trying to make digital artifacts. So the problem with memes is like you can never recreate it. Like whoever created one meme, I guarantee you they've never created another one, right? So it's like,
What?
okay,
Wait, what does that mean?
I'm saying memes happen organically. Like memes become a thing because they get pushed around the internet and they're organic, right? Like a picture of a little girl or the video of a little kid. Like name a meme that someone manufactured.
There's people who make a living just fucking creating memes, dude. There's like actual
Yo, nine gag, bro.
Yeah, nine gag. Fuck Jerry.
No, I'm saying
My
the meme
grandpa.
Yo! Woo! Double, that was a terrible take though. But here's the thing: is I feel like you just misworded it. Like I don't really think it. Wait. Here, I'm gonna throw it back to you right now. Right. I just think you completely misworded it because you're like, no one's ever made two memes, and like, wait, what? Hold on. So I'm gonna go back to you, give you a chance to sit in the corner, reword that one. We'll
wait. Let me respond. Okay, I'm talking about the underlying image that you're trying to protect, right? Not the memes that people put words on top of and it becomes a meme, and then you rephrase it, put captions. That's not creating a meme. I'm talking about the underlying image. But so, what are you trying to like?
So what about something that's been memed nonstop, like a Kevin, for example? Like there's 100 viral Kevin memes that happen.
Yeah, exactly. Right, exactly. So look, there's a lot of the kids that ended up being memes in these pictures. They end up growing up and like being shameful, and their image being used, thrown across the internet. Like a lot of those kids that have been in those memes, like that's the underlying image. I'm not talking about. I'm just saying. Did that kid ever create another image, another meme that went viral?
Well, but at the same time, how many memes, like what percentage of memes have humans in them? Like I would say most of them don't even have humans.
Yeah, or they're pictures from a cartoon, right? Like SpongeBob or whatever. Like you're going to own that? No, you don't own that image. So it's not going to make sense. I think a Bitcoin ordinal, if you took the meme and put it as a digital artifact on an ordinal, that makes a historical thing. But like, how are you going to make a marketplace? It sounds like you're making like Top Shot for memes. Like,
see, I do hear that though, because basically what you're saying is every meme is like a derivative of some other IP that already exists on the internet and is owned by somebody else. Like that.
Yeah, exactly.
I would say. I mean, Matt, like, what do you think about that? Like, that's a good point. All these like SpongeBob memes or like Harry Potter memes. Like, what happens then?
So the protection that somebody would try to use there is, that it's satire, right? And that it's the derivative work based on satire, and so that they're not actually commercializing the underlying IP itself. And that's that's what I think the legal defense there would be.
But you're monetizing it.
No, but you're not monetized. But it's satire, right? It's the same way that like you can make a Coca-Cola T-shirt that says like in the same script that says like cocaine, right? And like it looks like you see all these like spoofs and jokes and shit like that. And,
but
like,
how much do you have to
Not
change
to a
it?
certain scale.
People do like satire is like proven, right? So under the First Amendment, like you can do that and it's actually protected, and as long as it is not like a clear ripoff of the original work, then like there's protection offered to it. So
yeah, but you're claiming
that's
ownership of it through an NFT.
Yo, just let him cook.
well, you're creating something new. Okay, you're creating something new. Now, whether taking a screenshot of like one scene of SpongeBob and then adding words to the bottom of it constitutes like enough of a change to justify satire and protection under that. I don't know where the law stands on that, but if you can make tweaks to it, if you can do certain things where it's like, obviously, like, this is a joke, obviously this is not meant to be like, no one thinks that this is being put out by Cartoon Network or whoever, like, that is how you gain that protection and that artistic kind of license that you're allowed to use. So that's where I think it would go legally.
So Malik, and I'll throw it back to Double, and then we'll go to these hands. Malik, if I took a screenshot of your mutant ape and I threw some text on the top, made like the funniest meme, that motherfucker sold for more than the floor price of mutant apes. Like, are you pursuing legal action?
Yeah, I mean, me personally, probably not, right? Because I'm just not that guy. But maybe you'd have an argument there. It's like, well, does adding a funny, sentence underneath it give you protection? And then the question really becomes, well, is the value of that being derived from the funny meme that you created versus the image itself, right? So like that's the other side of it. And I would argue, if I was defending you, I would argue, well, look, this thing sold for twice as much as just the regular NFT is worth. So therefore, like, the market clearly sees that there's X amount of value in the meme that you created. So therefore, you did create value, on top of just the NFT itself.
Good point. I like it. Look, I'll throw it back to Double. We're gonna go to Victoria, and we got to go around. Double, what's good?
So the legal side, the law aside, right? I don't think it's going to work because memes are meant to be free and be used globally, right? So where's the value going to come from? It's going to be like, there's value to this meme because X amount of people like reused it. And how do you like get those numbers? Like, how do you know this meme became famous or whatever? And which derivative, right? What's the original one? What's not? It's just going to be a big mess. So I just don't think it's going to work technically because memes are supposed to be freely on the internet.
It does sound like it's going to become a little bit of an IP mess. But look, at the very least, our guy Malik is going to have a busy fucking calendar. Motherfucker's getting paid. Look, we're going to Victoria. We're going to Big Locks. Victoria, what's good? What are your thoughts on this?
Oh my God, I completely forgot the points that I wanted to make. No, I'm kidding. Regarding I'm losing my English, sorry. Regarding the memes being, like how do we prove who created the meme? Like, I think right now there is a technology that has a QR code. Each video, each content created has a QR code. It's not rolled out to Instagram or major platforms yet. But I know it exists, and there are platforms that are rolling this out, and which is actually super interesting for content creators who have, impersonators and things like that. Anyways, so I think we can prove even without going posting it, putting it on the blockchain. We can even prove the originality of the content using a QR code. And when it comes to memes, I think like you can sell. Like, there is a market for memes. I know that Mr. Mimi, for example, who's in the audience. I spoke to him the other day, and they have this subreddit account where you can go and like pick the right meme regarding like around what's going on right now. And it's not a random thing, actually. Like, I was also thinking like, oh, you cannot, like, it's a thing, something that you do like just like that and then people pick it up and it becomes funny. But no, apparently there's a lot of thought that goes behind memes. So that was my point. But when it comes to content and Instagram, going back to the point, I'm sorry, I'm like, it sounds like a TED talk, but I'm gonna finish very soon. I feel like I'm a little bit pissed at Instagram because it feels like they kind of just scratched the surface and didn't see that they can get the momentum going with this right away. But if they continued working on this, I think it could have unleash so much potential for them. Like, for example, content creator who's huge on Instagram makes like says, I'm going to be releasing 10, 20, 50 NFTs, and for engagement with my content, doing this and that, you will be able to claim it, and then those people are able to sell that. Like things like that, if they would like continue a little bit with this, I think they could have actually succeeded with this. But shame, pity. So yeah.
Okay. Thank you for the take, Victoria. I do appreciate it. Look, I also here, and I'm not gonna say too much. I just want to throw this out there. I also see this becoming an issue. Is like, okay, I definitely see a scenario in which videos and pictures that you take natively through the platform, like boom, that's a pretty easy thing to mint. But what happened? I take a picture of Kira, throw that motherfucker on the blockchain, mint it, sell it, and he's like, yo, ain't no one told you you could use my image and likeness to sell your shitty, stupid NFTs? And he goes to the principal. What happens then? Right? Like,
bro, you haven't seen Kevin, the guy that thinks he works for Tezos Foundation? Rotate an entire collection of that guy.
Okay. Well, look, I don't know Kevin. I do know Tezos art, but look, we got some hands. I gotta throw it to my guy Lox. We got Loxley on stage. How you doing, my brother? How you feeling? How are you living? What are your thoughts on these content NFTs?
Look, dude, so content NFTs aside, we should clear some shit up about memes really quickly. So we have this tendency to use, like, create these buzzwords, use them, proliferate them, and then bastardize them in ways that we don't quite understand. It's like a meme purely is an idea or a behavior, right? Like that is a meme. The mimetic nature of a lot of the shit that we do here is by virtue of its virality, right? The ability for things to catch on easily and for information to be disseminated very simply and easily. So we take these situations, right? Most memes, not all, most memes are covered by something called fair use doctrine. So there's a few things when you're taking a screenshot. Let's say you take someone's NFT, whether you put commentary on it or don't put commentary on it, there's a few things here, and one of them truly does come down when you're talking about like the legal aspects, comes down to intent. And it comes down to what's determined the nature of the work. So the differentiation between a factual event and a creative event, right? So really determines whether or not copyright stands. So you have an instance like, let's say you screenshot this space and you're trolling somebody, you're flexing on someone for a dumb take, and you make a meme about it. They were in fact here, and this was a factual event, and you can fuck with them however you want, and they can't be pissed at you or try to sue you because you used their likeness in your meme as a member of this space here. You take someone's work, like a photographer, take whoever it is, whichever one of you artists are on the stage here, and created a piece of work, and you screenshot their art, and you try to sell that or proliferate that with your own message on it. Then they have a claim on copyright then, right? And the courts will stand by someone whose work has been copied and disseminated, even with variants. So there is a legal amount of variance that you have to have on an image to be able to redistribute it. But with variants, they can actually have legal claim on you if, in fact, you're abusing their creative work. If it's a factual event, you're 100% in the clear. So there's a lot of these little nuances, and we have like this tendency, I think, and I'm not trying to be like the downer, but we have this tendency to want to like spew shit thinking that it's facts, and then someone else picks it up and then they spew it, and it just goes on and on and on and gets worse and worse. So I think it's super important to like clarify shit and actually understand what we're talking about before we continue going. Now back to Victoria's point, yeah, there's plenty of technologies, like whether it's blockchain technology or not, plenty of ways to determine origination, authenticity of a meme, and really like attribute creative creative provenance, I guess you might say, to people. I'm not gonna get into that part, but I hopped in the space for a minute, heard that, and I was like, let's clarify some shit before we start.
Well, let's fucking go. Thanks for the clarification, Lox. You know we appreciate it. I'm gonna throw it back to you and ask, with all that being said, are you bullish, are you bearish, or are you indifferent on meme and content NFTs?
I'm super bullish, like 100%. But like honestly, I think it's one of the best use cases for the JPEG as a quote unquote NFT. And to be clear, I think JPEGs as non-fungible tokens are the low-hanging fruit. Like I think that was the first obvious use case. I think over the next few years, it's like the technology will be used in so many other ways. But like really, what are we doing? We're tokenizing moments. We're memorializing them. We're adding value to them. The thing is, if you look at it and you want to say bullish, bearish, I don't think that any particular meme outside of like true provenance on like serious like original Pepe's and stuff like that are going to have a ton of value. But I think it's a good use case in terms of adoption and use of tokenization. It's better than I think it's way better to tokenize memes than it is to spin up a collection of 10,000 cartoon animals, and trying to like sell them, right? Like I think the memes is a better application for sure for the technology.
Okay. Well, thank you for the take, Lux. You know, we always appreciate it. Always good to see you up here. And I'll tell you what, if making mid memes gonna get motherfuckers paid, I'm gonna be rich. I am gonna be so goddamn rich. So look, we gotta go to Dev Alex, who hasn't got a chance to speak yet. Then we'll go back around the horn. Big Dev, Big Alex, what's good, Poppy? How you doing? How you feeling? How you living? What's going on? What are your thoughts on these tokenized memes on this content NFT meta?
Thread guy, my guy. So okay, so I think Instagram executed it poorly, right? I think that the way that they could have gone about this is allowed those creators that had good engagement and good like metrics. If your video went viral, allow them to create that as a collectible, sell them to their followers, and that way onboard people. I think that the way they went about it was just not the proper way. I'll eat my own words. Sunsetting just means that I can still post a collectible on Instagram right now. It doesn't mean I can't sell, I can't buy, I can't trade, obviously. But that's just my take. I think that we overly talk about Instagram. The whole narrative about Instagram failing. I think we should talk about new people who are coming in the space, like YouTube, right? How are they going to execute? Maybe give them some ideas on how to execute. I would love to see some of the YouTubers, creators that I watch, maybe them drop their videos as a collectible and give the viewers ad revenues from those videos specifically. I would like to see some sort of execution like that. But yeah, that's just my take on it.
Okay, well, thanks for your take on it. And my take on it is I agree. We shouldn't spend too much time hating on Instagram. But at the same time, if we don't note these things, publicize these things, and bring it to the limelight, then what happens when YouTube is like, oh, we're going to integrate NFTs? The same fucking thing. So here's what we're going to do is we're going to go to Bongo, we're going to go to Yogi, and then we're going to go to Double A.
Yo, man, I've been having my hands up the whole time.
I didn't want to do it, bro. Look, Big Z, you have had your hand up for a long time, but newsflash, so is NB, so is Yogi, so has the co-host, Mr. Bongo. And I'll tell you what, Yogi's been on stage for 20 minutes, and he did not cut in. He didn't say, yo, TG, my hand was up too. Z, there's only one mic, and there's a large stage. I'm doing my best to run through these MFers, so we're going to start with the co-host, who is a co-host, so he gets a privilege. That's how it works. And then we're going to go to the Gold Azuki, because the Gold Azuki has a higher floor price than that Mutant Ape. And then we're going to go to the Bored Ape privilege. So, Bongo! What's good, Bongo? How you doing? What's going on, Poppy? Talk to me. Talk to me.
Yo, Dread. I just don't see it. All these mean collectibles, I think it makes a little bit of sense to us because we are in this tiny digital collectible world. But outside of here, I don't think it will make sense. I don't think that that's the nature of memes. I think it will create the wrong incentive. Either it's going to be a total flood, or you will have a bunch of people trying to pump and dump some shitty memes, and they change.
But that's not what we do with NFTs, anyways. It's just pump and dump shitty NFTs.
Well, but you at least, if you have like a Bored Ape, you end up with a company that is building the metaverse.
Yeah, and that's like one of two in the whole space.
Yeah, with memes, it's going to be zero always, nothing else.
So let me ask you this, Bongo, just to play the other side, because I haven't been extremely bullish on this idea either. But would you rather own an NFT of a meme that's funny and that has, honestly, unlimited utility as you posted under replies in your texts, in your conversations, or a shitty animal profile picture that promised you a metaverse and all it does is dump your floor price lower?
Yeah, give me the shitty animal. Means they change all the time. You don't know which one are going to be grails. And in my opinion, there's just a few, maybe two or three. I'm pretty sure.
So let me ask you this though. Let me ask you this: is why is it just because I'm thinking out loud as well? Why is an NFT meme on the blockchain any different from a PFP meme, say a MFer or a crypto? Like why are those two things different?
These are PFP NFT communities on Twitter.
But what about meme communities? Is that a thing?
I don't know. No, I don't think so.
I kind of think it is. Like when a trend goes crazy, when like a meme trend goes crazy, and everyone is posting the same trend. Like I think about I don't know, like the SpongeBob meme with the text where you capitalize some letters and you lowercase some others to do like the mocking voice. Like I feel like meme trends build communities, and everyone's posting the same.
But you don't make that your personality, like an MFer. You don't make that your brand, and you don't live for that shit. I mean, you just enjoy it for a little while until something new come around. The life cycle of a meme is not that long. It's short, especially now when things are evolving. Like
I don't know about that, but the core ones always stay true. Like the core memes are core memes for life.
Can you mention?
It's almost like look at Pepe. Look at fucking Pepe. Like
Thread. Sorry. Don't boot me. There is Mr. Mimi. There's Mr. Mimi in the audience. He will tell you everything about how he creates memes, and it was fascinating. So sorry.
So I think my mic cut out there for a second, but as I was saying, honestly, I'm gonna say this, and this might have no correlation whatsoever. It might be a crazy take, but if NFT memes don't make sense, then NFT music doesn't make sense to me either.
Wait.
Because you just go fucking load up YouTube and listen to the song, or I'll go load up my GIF maker and just type in the meme. Like, I feel like it's the same thing, in my opinion. Obviously with some differences, but I don't know, Bongo. I don't feel like PFPs cannot be the only answer. Like, if that is all we're doing is building goddamn PFP communities, what are we doing, bro? Like,
it's gonna
I don't know.
No, I mean, I think we all agree, and we speak about it often, that the main utility might be in a video game, might be skins for Fortnite, it might be shit for the metaverse, not PFPs. But I don't think memes will be the answer. I don't think it will create a wrong incentive for memes. It's not gonna capture culture.
But all we do in crypto is like nothing but memes, in my opinion. Like, that's what this space literally is, memes, to me. I mean, look at how it's just started, too. Look at the early days. I mean, look at something like Dogecoin. Like, are you going to tell me that crypto isn't built on memes when Dogecoin has the market cap it does and, fucking Bored Apes worth 500 grand? Like, I feel like all of this space is memes.
No, I think there's a few of them that are pretty strong and prevalent. But other than that, it's just new stuff, new communities, gay pets, animals, what we have right now.
But what are these animals? Like, they're memes. I don't know. We can go to a few hands here, but I mean, bro, the fucking creator of Bitcoin is anonymous. Like, I feel like this whole space is memes. Like, everything about this is jokes. And people come here because it's more fun and normal market dynamics just completely go out the window. Anything can happen here because it's fucking memes.
I think memes are a feature, an important one when it comes to like anything on the internet because they're fun. But a clone X is not a meme. You can argue that a subfield.
Oh, that project is a whole entire. That project embodies what a meme is, Bongo.
They're definitely a meme, bro.
But only for people that know, only for people that know the project, and that's just like what 5,000 people. No one knows what the fuck is going on with them.
Bro, on Instagram, we have a huge community on Instagram. That's how much of a meme this fucking project is.
We'll talk to Stoopy about that. But look, here, we'll go to some hands. I kind of want to get some opinions, but I don't know. I think that this space is just as much about the memes as anything. I mean, what the entire CC0 narrative is memes. Like, what the fuck is public domain IP without the memes? Like, that's all it is about. I mean, I feel like this whole space is memes. I mean, look at the
memes
Punk
don't
6529, the meme cards. What do you mean memes don't have value?
Okay,
hold on. Wait, go back to that. Hold on. That was a crazy take to me. That memes don't have value. What does that even mean?
they don't have as much value because you have
Compared to
collections
what?
to whatever
Utility? What
no
utility?
promises to like other promises like the metaverse or even a strong brand like a Suki because you have Pollo Penguins, you have Sappy Seals, great examples of like projects that have a bunch of memes and are great creators when it comes to that, and their PFP are good for that, and they don't have the same floor price. I mean, they're fun, people know them, but it doesn't drive the price up.
No, I can't. I don't like the take. I'll be honest. The memes don't have value. Take them. You're losing me there. I
Not as
tend to
much.
disagree. I tend to disagree. I mean, there's a couple projects that you can, Bored Apes, Punks, but I mean, even Punks, like, they're a fucking meme. Look, I gotta go to some hands. I gotta get some takes on this. I'm gonna go to Yogi first. I'm gonna go to Double, and we're gonna go around the horn. I mean, Yogi, what do you think about NFT memes? Do memes have any value? Does crypto even care about memes? Am I fucking losing my mind, Yogi?
Yeah, what up, guys? Thread guy, thanks for having these epic spaces. You just make my day. It's amazing to see this energy in a fucking market that's going up and down. I think few takes. I think memes have value from a marketing perspective. That's what gets people in. Like fundamentally, crypto, like no one really talks about the tech. We'll let the engineers and the institutions build. Like the idea that crypto was birthed out of like just look at the big like I'm not going to go into buzzwords or the original, but like self custody, banks failing. One of the narratives this week of why like Bitcoin and Ethereum are pumping to a degree, amongst other things. I think memes have value, but there's a lot of garbage in the ecosystem. I think that's what Bongo's probably going towards. Like, yeah, the original Pepe cards from 2016, dude. Like, I think one of them sold at Sotheby's for like $3 million. There are things that are going to have staying power, but like 99.9% don't have value. So you should buy it for the culture. And it should not be a financial instrument of like, oh, I'm going to make money. And then looking at PFPs, these are one of the early narratives. It got retail excited about the space. It's literally, it was like the red pill, blue pill, like getting people in and trying stuff out. Now, NFTs, I don't think the original intention back in 2016, 2017, when they started launching was like, we're going to just make PFPs and like have fun. Like from an institutional perspective, like NFTs for real estate assets, like mining rights, like that's where there's going to be a lot from a tech perspective. I think a lot of us here, myself included, are buying into PFPs because there's a narrative. We think we're early. Like, is this like buying Mickey Mouse in the 1930s? I don't know. But it's a bet that one of these brands is going to do something unique, and we have the original rights to it. People can copy, left click, save. I don't really give a shit, but like at some point, they may be able to monetize certain rights. So I guess, I don't know if that answers the question. I think memes are needed. It gets the discussion going. Not everyone wants to read a paper and talk about algorithms and like what makes what work. But at the same time, we should be cautious. Like the fifth derivative Pepe meme is like, don't spend like 10 ETH on that. Like, just don't do it.
Okay. I think it's a good take. I mean, Yogi, let me ask you, will you be buying any NFT memes?
Yeah, probably. I keep buying them just because I don't know what I'm doing. I'm just doing it for the fun. Like, I'll buy shit to buy shit. Like, that's the only reason why I've been buying recently. Like, I don't think the only project I've minted recently was Momoguru, and the art kind of sucked.
Oh, you sold pre-reveal though, right?
I did, except for one.
But you pulled a one of one, right?
I wish. I did. I left-click saved the one Grail bought, and it's on my phone now, and so... Like, he paid 60.
Wait, what is left-click save? I've never heard that.
Or is it right-click save? Shit, you're right. It's right-click save. Fuck. My bad. But, yeah, like, I've been buying some, like, ordinals just for the culture. And then I've been buying some memes that are, like these free mints that keep dropping. Like, oh, this looks cool. I'll buy it. Like, whatever. So.
Yeah, just real quick question for Yogi. What federal agency do you work for?
Sir, I work for the FBI.
Yeah, thought so.
Okay. Okay. Well, we're getting FBI MFR in here.
You said left click save, bro. I'm sorry. Fucking flags.
I know they only got one. They only got one clicker on their mice. Is it their mice or their mouses? Okay. Look, I just pulled up all time value OpenSea. I mean, loot how is Loot 18 all-time volume? I mean, that's the biggest fuck. I don't know if that's a meme or that's just a slap in the face joke, but I don't know. I feel like this space is nothing but memes. That's it.
I have to agree, TG. There's the whole meme of when the hell are we going to be able to get our artifact clothing? You know what I mean, bro?
or like, when can this sneaker company ship shoes internationally?
Yeah, when is the Canadian guy gonna get his fucking shoes for not taking his 200 ETH bid? I should have taken that bid, bro. I'm down.
Yeah, you should have taken that bid, but you don't need me to tell you that. Look. We're gonna go to some more hands here. Bongo's on timeout for a second, so we're gonna go to Double and we'll go back to him. I mean, Double, what do you think about this? I mean, your whole personality is being a meme. So, what are your thoughts on NFT memes, on this content? I mean, talk to me, dude. Is the NFT space built on memes, or am I crazy?
It is, but I agree with Yogi. It's more like the marketing side, advertising. Like the memes are almost like ads that get you kind of, involved in the community itself. But it's not the product. You're not selling them, right? If you try to tokenize them, do I have to like own the NFT to like send a meme? No. So
but I kind of feel like, sorry to cut in, but I kind of feel like at this time, 5-10 years ago, the idea of like selling profile pictures is like, what the fuck are you talking about, motherfucker? I'm in the NBA community, so I got an NBA profile picture that an artist did that I like, and that's that. Like, what do you mean I'm gonna sell my profile picture? Like, I'm not buying my. I don't know. Like, I feel like they're so similar, and we're playing with like very, very, very specific nuances that is sort of losing the broader picture. Double A.
Yeah, I can agree. I think my bigger concern with the Facebook thing, I just don't think to say that this meme thing would help Instagram. I just don't agree with that. I agree, like this could be a thing, a project, but I don't think.
Instagram's toast. Instagram's toast. I don't think, dead in the water.
Doing this meme project for Instagram would have been any different. I think I'm more concerned that this will happen for Amazon the same way. Like they try it out, they realize it's not going to work, and they just sunset it right away, and then it trickles down to all the other ones.
Now, Amazon's strategy is completely different. Like, Instagram's been copying and following and buying. Amazon's literally like, I have a thread on it just because I've spoken to people on it, but like they're like using it to build out like 10 different business lines. I think you're going to see something completely different.
Okay, well, I'm tired of hearing that these corporate companies are doing something different, because everyone is doing something different and failing in their own way. They're all failing in their own fucking ways. It's like, yeah, congratulations, you innovated on an F. Like, yeah, you wrote the prompt different from the question, you got an F. Like, we're just finding new ways to get Fs, and I'm kind of tired of it. Double. I mean, I don't know. I don't know. Here's what we're gonna do. I'm gonna go to Malik. I'm gonna go back to Bongo. I know Big Z's down there losing his ever-loving fucking mind. So we'll circle back to him. Malik, I'm starting with you, baby. What's good?
Yeah, on the Amazon thing and what Yogi said, I am cautiously optimistic for Amazon. I do think that they're in a different position than Reddit or Instagram or Meta, in the sense that, and I've said this before, what they have that is unique is a population or a community there that literally only visits their website to spend money. They've got their credit cards locked and loaded, and they're just there to buy shit. That's it. Like 300 million people, right? So that automatically gives them, I think, a leg up in terms of like their market or their demographic that they're marketing to. What worries me about Amazon is that the word seems to be that they're going to be creating their own private chain. So that means that all of these NFTs and all the digital collectibles, all the things that they do, they're already talking about pairing NFTs to physical goods, which is dope. But the concern there is, if there's no liquidity on that chain, then they're fucking worthless, right? You can have the dopest shit, but if
just ask Coinbase NFT how that works.
So that's my concern. If they do end up going with their own Amazon chain versus what we had thought about, heard before about them maybe using AVAX as, and some kind of layer 2 solution. So that's my concern there. But I do think that they're positioned uniquely to succeed where others have failed.
Okay. Well, I'm very interested to see an Amazon chain. I mean, Yogi, you brought it up. I'll throw it back to you. What's going on?
Yeah, I think the point that Malik's making, like, so Prime has 150 million users in the U.S., and so if you think about like step one, they're going to onboard, like they'll have onboarding capabilities, especially after this last week, where 150 million people now have a digital wallet linked to their Amazon account, where they can use credit cards to buy stuff, right? So that solves your initial liquidity problem, because right now in Ethereum, it's literally just all of us literally fighting each other, and everyone that mints, including Momoguru, is just taking liquidity out of the ecosystem. Like no one's putting fresh money in. And so you'll see a lot more people come in. Malik, I think to your point, it is going to be a private chain because it's built for like an enterprise use case. From what I've heard, it's supposed to be EVM compatible, and their partnership with AVAX is actually to drive like those devs to build. Like people like Microsoft's seen this, other big companies have seen it. You could build the sexiest chain. If there's no developers or any like retail people, who's going to use it? Like you see that with Utes going to Polygon, right? And so I think that problem will be solved with these new people buying. And frankly, these NFTs are probably going to be 50 to 100 bucks. Like it shouldn't be that expensive. And then on top of that, them layering into Amazon Game Studios and Amazon Prime from video, like you'll start seeing different experiences. Like think about if Thread Guy had a Prime account streaming stuff, and now people on Prime can buy Thread Guy's NFT that gives them a subscription to like see his shit for the next year. I'm just making
You
like
couldn't give that shit away for free. But but what I was gonna say to one of the points you made, with liquidity, there's a big difference between saying, hey, there's 150 million users with credit cards on there, and calling and that versus how many people are actually buying and trading these things on their chain. That is the liquidity, right? So like there is like potential for a huge amount of liquidity, but whether people actually use this, whether there's any kind of secondary market and any secondary demand, that's going to determine if we as traders have any upside over there versus just buying a fucking digital baseball card, basically.
Well, yeah, I think we have too much trading right now, though. Like Blur, like yeah, trading is good, but you need collectors too. And I'd rather have a bunch of more people buying than have trading spike just to see more people use it. That should then over time spill over to like our fucking JPEGs, I guess.
Yeah, but what are they buying on Amazon?
Well, there's going to be collections that are launching on Amazon. They
what
already
JPEGs?
Like 15.
No, it's going to be physical stuff.
Well, the title stuff.
It's
why do you think Phygital just jumped up here? It's going to be Phygital stuff.
God, bro.
It's going to be a bunch of different verticals. There's going to be Phygital. There's going to be
how much is public already?
JPEGs. So
how much is actually public already?
What?
How much is already?
We know they're building Phygital stuff.
Yeah.
No, I'm being serious. How much is already public?
We know that they're doing Phygital. We know that there are collections that are going to be launching with it. I think that the announcement was like 15 collections.
More than that, but okay, you guys are on the right track.
Why do you think he jumped up here?
I don't know, because y'all fucking some of them. You said that goddamn godforsaken word 3 times.
We didn't even say the word. We were just.
And he fucking came up here every time. Look, all right, we're gonna go to him before we do. Big Z's losing his fucking mind down there, so I'm gonna throw it to Z. Z, what do you got for me, bro?
Hey, sorry, I was a bit overeager a bit before. Like, it's something that, I spent all my time on, so I just wanted to share a bit and have a discussion. So I apologize. I love you all, appreciate you all, and sorry for being a bit overeager. It's just like, I just want to say,
you're good, bro. I'm coming back to you. You're good, baby. Give me your take, though. What's the word?
I appreciate all of you. Thank you very much. It's just that, I just want to say that listening to kind of conversation here, the big companies not going to build that. They don't have this. They don't have these conversations. They don't have these culture. Do you think like a product manager and Meta sitting there reporting to fucking Zucks is going to come up with the right solution, the right sort of product market fit to build something that will capture the culture? Like, clearly not, right? Like, I think whatever our thoughts are on meme, we can agree all that NFTs, what it is about. Whether art, meme, now music, content, possibly, it's about capturing culture. It's a moment in time that can digitally be captured. It's a moment of culture that could be like captured, right? And that cannot be built by some big conglomerate. Like Bored Ape Yacht Club could never be born out of some conglomerate, any big, like none of them. Artifact cannot be born out of it. Like, I think it's really from, grassroots. The people who have these conversations I've just been hearing now. So everything from the IP rights, which is a great thing. That is a solution that needs to be built for sure for this to be successful. Or all that, as you said, like if you reuse some work, Like that all is a technology that Web3 can enable. For example, when we talk
Okay.
about when we're thinking about, let's say, if you reuse somebody work for remix, we can easily have splits, on-chain splits, where let's say you reuse that work, the original creator will always get 10% and infinity, right? So this is something that
But
it's
what
perfect
meme
for
is an
Web3.
original
It's fully
creation
decentralized
though?
in that way. And on like Meta had like a perfect platform to build that, but they won't. It has to be people like us who care about these issues, who know these really in detail, and it has to be approached from the grassroots.
Okay.
I just want to say one last thing is
Oh.
I just no. I just want to say that the meme, the sort of the meme thing, is literally just like a small subset of much bigger picture, which is content NFTs, right? So let's think about music video, right? Let's say you can buy a Post Malone fucking like White Iverson, what just before he was popping.
When I started falling, I was
Music
Exactly.
NFTs.
Exactly. Now, like, how much would that be worth now? So, like, imagine you can buy, like, something like that now, and in 5 years later, it's gonna be turned out to Post Malone. Like, do you think that's
I
gonna
want
be
the
worth?
money like the ring I never won. Oh. Yeah, I mean, look, I would, if you can bring me that joy every day, I would fucking buy it.
Yeah.
But look, here's my thing. Is the real question I want to know is, Fragile, how much money do we have to pay you to ensure we never hear the word digital ever fucking again?
So far, the offer stands at at plus 7 figures. Like in real life.
What about a Post Malone music video on chain?
I'm tired of hearing that stuff, by the way. Nothing personal, Zen. Like, nobody gives a fuck about that part of what you were saying. Like, nothing personal. That's 6 months ago, or maybe even
So let me ask you then, Fragile, what are your thoughts on content NFTs, on meme NFTs, on video NFTs? I mean, shit, I think music NFTs goes in that group as well.
The answer is not. Anybody who answers that, like, to your question, is not actually thinking through. It's the reason why people didn't make 20% in the last USDC to ETH flip. Like,
you didn't make no 20% and shit. Just give us the take.
You didn't make 20%. You didn't catch USDC at
No,
at
I
90
sold
cents?
my dollar coins for 90 cents and bought a dollar coin for $1.15. Are you
Jesus
happy?
Jesus Christ. Like, this stuff is pretty simple. Honestly, we just had a huge watershed moment that I think is going to highlight both conversations really quickly. The arguments that people are making about Web 2 companies not being able to come into Web 3 is looking backwards. So Facebook has never done anything really right? They've just acquired other companies that have done things right, which is why they can't do NFTs. So Zen is correct in that analysis that large corporations are not going to be able to, quote unquote, adopt or absorb or reflect the culture. But what is going to happen from companies that know how to do what they're doing and actually built off of culture, Amazon was built, right? I look at Facebook as a lucky flash in the pan. I don't think that was like the most intentional. It caught a gap. It did it really well, and it's done a good job of acquiring other people's ability to capture culture over time. What we are going to see is companies like Amazon who admit and acknowledge they are not right to capture culture in that way, and they're going to hire not. So during the bull, we saw third-party agencies fucking us and fucking brands because it was all cash money. And when there's a lot of money to be made and a lot of money being made, you don't analyze the details. In a bear, what has come out is a bunch of people who actually know what the fuck they're doing, that are creating agencies that are going to either be absorbed or exist with these other larger companies and do the things that they haven't been able to do right moving forward. And it's directly in time with the fact that what just happened with this pump is not the average pump we've seen before. The average pumps we've seen before have been functions of whale fluctuations. So they go, okay, will the general public believe that if ETH goes to 1,000, they'll still stay and believe it'll go back up? And will it go to 1,500? Or will Bitcoin go from 15 to 20? What we just saw right now is not what is a watershed moment that is institutional money coming in because SVB funded tech companies, right? SVB, the issue was that they required their people that they lent money to keep the money in the bank. The bank no longer exists. All those companies get all that money from the government or otherwise. They are making decisions how to diversify their money now that they probably would have put that money into crypto to begin with. Now they have the freedom to do so. Double, you're so fucking wrong as usual. So they've pumped a shit ton of money into the crypto ecosystem, primarily Bitcoin, which is why you saw the asymmetrical growth. What you saw up until Monday was people reallocating cash within our Web3 ecosystem. So the off-chain ramps disappeared, right? And people said, okay, no USDC, I'm afraid of Tether, I'm gonna pump my money into the safest that I don't have to use an exchange to transfer, right? I can go to my wallet, I can transfer in the EVM ecosystem to Ethereum. That was the Ethereum pump. USDC had to repeg because USDC is connected to obviously Circle and government entities that it's going to be connected to CBDCs in one way or other. So it had to repeg. Now what you're seeing is all this institutional money going, fuck, now that we have our money back and we're kind of safe, let's not put it all back into regional banks, although you are seeing a large pump in regional banks across the board. So a percentage of that money is going into other regional banks, but a lot of them are putting their money into Bitcoin. So the
It's
question
all connected. It's still correlated, dude.
Just please don't say dumb shit that does not actually thinking things through.
It's still correlated.
I just gave you a deep analysis.
It went up when the banks went up.
I just gave you a deep financial analysis, and you threw out,
Look! We gotta give Double a chance to respond. Double, you're on the mic. Respond to this bozo who called you out by name for having shitty takes. How do you feel about it?
It's real simple. I mean, everything you just said, it's still correlated. You're trying to say like this broke out to some correlation against the risk on assets when it didn't. Like it went down when the banks went down, and it went up when the banks went up. It's just a 24-hour, network, and it's not down on the weekends. So it had a little earlier pump and an earlier dump. That's it.
Thank you for not saying anything thoughtful.
I did that. What do you mean? That's the truth. Look at the
you
chart.
Literally use broad.
You said, oh, just because
I gave you the actual analysis. I gave you this is why people fuck up in NFTs all the time. Y'all don't just think about what other people are doing.
Look at the money.
Oh my God! Stop looking at the chart.
Here's what we're gonna do. Vagito, look, you said he said nothing, but then you gave a rebuttal that also said nothing. So how about this? Why don't you address his points, say what was wrong, and actually give some fucking substance for once in your goddamn life, Digital?
That's all I did was give you substance, you piece of shit. I literally explained why things go up or down. It's literally people taking money and putting it in different places. I explained. And then Double said, look at the charts. Look at the charts. Dude. Because we just got a cash. But that doesn't negate what I'm saying. What I'm trying to say is we got permanent cash instead of cash being moved around.
How? There's no off ramp. How did new money come in?
It's not new money,
on-ramp,
bro.
Whatever. On ramp, off ramp.
Bro,
there's tons of on ramps.
So things moved around. So how is that different?
What?
I'm saying you said it's different than before. You said it's different than before. It followed the same trajectory up and down.
No one give this man money. No one give Double A
before the
money.
banks crashed, and it went up right before the banks went up, and it still followed the same correlation. Look at the chart. How is it different? Explain to me how.
Bro,
it's
he just explained to you why it's different.
How, Kuro? What did you say? Absolutely nothing.
Bro, I think you've been getting pegged. That's what the problem is here.
No, bro. I think you're just.
Oh, right. On that note, okay. Look. Fidget, I'm just gonna say you are the CEO of 20-minute monologues where you say everything but don't say a goddamn thing. And I know I'm not the only one that feels that way when you start rambling, mama jambling. But look, in the meantime, we will go back to you. But I gotta throw it to Yogi. Yogi, with the golden Azuki privilege, what's good, baby?
Yeah, just what are you? What correlation are you specifically talking about? Just trying to follow this conversation because I have a few comments.
Oh, the correlation with the stock market.
Got it. So I think what Fidgetal was trying to say is that there was a lot of money that was in panic last week. A lot of money's been sitting in the sidelines in USDC. The market cap of USDC is $40 billion. When they saw it depeg, a lot of capital moved into Bitcoin and Ethereum out of fear that what's the point of holding USDC, and I don't want to touch Tether. Fidgetal literally talked about it, so I'm not going to go into detail. And then on top of that, you have to look at what the market's doing. It was overly negative, and Coinbase's short interest as well as Bitcoin was at what, like, very near an all-time high or a local high. I don't remember the exact numbers. And so when you see SVB get bailed out, you have money unlocked. You have USDC, which is, you know, repegging. You have now a momentum of, all right, there's cracks in the banking system. We have money in stables. We don't want to take risk of this. We're going to cover our shorts and buy into this. That's why you see a rally that's, frankly, in my opinion, kind of ridiculous, but like it fits the narrative. And now we just need to understand if it's going to sustain itself, which we'll see over the next week, on top of CPI today. So the charts may look good because there's a bunch of macro indicators that are conflating each other, but I think there are two different narratives.
Well, all I'm saying is that look, there was fear with the banks. Crypto crashed, right?
Yes.
Okay. So did the banks, right? Then the government bailed us out. Now there's not as much fear, and what went back up? Crypto went back up, and the banks went back up at the same time.
Well, the crypto didn't fall because of the banks.
Yeah, it started crashing with Silvergate and all that.
Yeah, that's because everyone on Twitter is fucking panicking because they don't understand
how. No, it's not Twitter, bro. It's the money flow. It's not Twitter.
Dude, think about how many people that don't read charts all day panic sold at 85 cents.
Besides anything, I said it went down when Silvergate. We first had a crash in Bitcoin, right? Everyone was scared. It was down to 1,400.
We didn't have a crash. You're not actually following where the liquidity's going. You're not seeing that it's going to other crypto, dude. Like, real simple.
When Silvergate crashed and all that, Bitcoin went down. Yes or no?
Yeah, but not materially.
Hey, he asked a yes or no question, Fidgetal.
That's called a correlation. That's all I'm saying. You're saying it's not correlated anymore or something like that. It's not true. It's still correlated. We haven't broken out of that.
You are dancing like you're dancing worse than I do with that dancer.
You're dancing around, bro. I'm right down the middle.
You are not. You're trying to isolate Bitcoin as a correlation between crypto as an asset class and stock market, and just looking at one crypto instead. Like, you are just dumbing the rest of the guys. Don't listen. Please don't listen. Please don't listen to him.
I've never heard a debate with two people so passionate about something. They don't even know what they're talking about. Two people so passionate with no fucking clue what they are saying or why they are saying it. It is truly sensational, vaginal, and double A. Look, here's what we're gonna do. In the meantime, in the on the road of bad takes, we're gonna throw it to a Polygon PFP with the intent of bad takes and throwing it to Ben, Eth, Minor, Big Ben. What's good, baby? How you doing? How you feeling? How you living?
What's good? What's good? I'm loving this debate. Not gonna count, but yeah, like, just a quick take on that. What y'all were debating. Yo, I don't know. One of y'all need to come up with some proof, some receipts, and we need to adopt that mentality. No receipts is cap. Whatever y'all saying, take 5-10 minutes. Just come back with all that data and make a quick post and pin it so we can all look at it and we untie the discussion real quick. Data don't lie.
Yeah, what he meant by that is, how about you give us a TLDR, because nobody knows or cares what you motherfuckers are saying. Ben, you have a take or no?
Yeah, bro, my take wasn't even about that thing. Like, my take was more about the music thing and the Amazon and all that. I on that part, I kind of agree with Fidgetal that we can see those big players fucking coming and acquiring companies in Web3 that already figure things out. What the cultural part that somebody was referring to, that they wouldn't be able to accomplish. Yes, they have that attitude, like, I ain't got the time for that, so I'm not gonna do it, and I got the money, I'll just go and buy somebody that knows how to do it. I think that's what would happen, and we would see some of these big companies coming in the next 2 or 3 years. And regarding the music thing, on that part, I disagree with Fidgetal. I'm more on the side of whoever said about a Post Malone music and shit like that. I believe whenever
I was young.
Yes, sir. Because, like, imagine if somebody could help Post Malone hit another single by marketing their music more. But now this time, if you want an NFT, you also earn part of their digital royalties, whatever, from YouTube, Spotify, whatever. You would be more inclined to help them market their music. You know what I mean? So I don't know how they're going to figure that, if they're going to straight up position themselves as a security, or if they're going to do a Yuga play where they are not a security, but then they figure out a way to put money in your pocket. I think that could be a hit, and people would help them market their product. That's my quick take on it.
Okay. And now they say congratulations. We're so
Thread,
far gone to
I got
vacate.
receipts. I got receipts.
What do
Double
you
ape
got?
left. Double ape left.
All right, well, drop your receipts anyways. For Dido, what do you got? You got
Kurosine
nothing.
receipts. Kurosine receipts.
What do you mean Kurosine receipts in your gated DM conversation? I mean, what does that do for me, Fidgetal?
Yeah, this guy's not even in the cabal. We can't use cabal sensitive information.
I mean, Kiro, what is confirming your bias in a DM conversation?
Oh,
None of us can see. What does that do for me?
I made like 18% on his trade. He's like buy USDC. I just bought it because I just wanted him to shut up because it was after 10 p.m. PST.
So you were my exit
liquidity.
liquidity. You were my exit liquidity, except you won the trade.
Yeah. And I don't know how he fucking called it, but I just listen to him now because every time I do, I end up with like something that's worth like 3-4 grand in my wallet. Or
I don't like listening to him.
I know
don't
it's
like listening
so
to him,
hard, bro.
I don't like
doing it.
Fuck.
You can come visit me in LA.
Yeah, I'll come visit you in the valley, Fidgetal. I'm excited to. But look, I got some hands to go to. I'll actually be in the valley in less than a week. MB, what's good, Poppy? How you doing? How you feeling? What's going on? Talk to me. I need a hot take. I need something.
Yeah, I got some hot takes for you, Thread. I'll be honest with you. I wasn't prepared. I thought I had another 30 to 45 minutes at least to prepare for this moment. So bear with me as I work on only maybe 2 hours of preparation. Okay. So my hot take is, starting with Instagram. What the fuck happens to those? Where are those hosted? Who's hosting them? Who's paying for them to be hosted? Like, now that Instagram is done, are they done at a point? Like, maybe not this year, but like next year, or the year after? I'm curious. And then on the meme point, like, fuck yeah. Like, I don't know what the fuck Richard the cat is. I need to like find time to Google that and figure that out. But like, if that shit was an NFT at the start and then became an explosive meme, you know how much money that stupid thing would be worth? Like, I even want it. So like, I'm bullish on that. I get that. And I'm into art. Art's my thing.
Okay. Well, I'm not sure that the 2 hours were properly reflected in that take, but I do appreciate the
I
effort.
told you I wasn't I thought I had at least 30 45 minutes to sit with my team and really like break down what topics we were going to incorporate.
I'm just going to say that if that was 2 hours, I'm not sure a 30% increase would validate the 3 hours. But look, I do appreciate you, MB. I appreciate you being here, and I appreciate the take. So I got to go to a few more hands. Dev Alex has his hand up. I'm going right to him. Big Dev, what's good, Poppy? I need a take. What do you got?
Yeah, I'm just gonna double down on the content NFTs and on YouTube executing, as well as Amazon working with these blockchains and creators. A lot of these dApps are already run on AWS, so I'm hoping that they work with a lot of dApps and give exposure to DeFi, I think, and NFTs more to their community, right? But I also think that YouTube, we should keep an eye on them and kind of hold them accountable how they do it. I don't know. I've explained it to legal partners, my significant other, and they only understand NFTs when you explain it. Like, okay, picture if I'm watching a YouTube vlogger that I've been watching for 10 years. I've watched 5 of their kids grow. I've watched each of them being born. Imagine you could they vlog that shit and they put it on there, right? The kid being born. Imagine you could buy a collectible of that specific video, and that's just gonna pop because everybody's gonna go watch that specific video, and you could buy a collectible of that video, and the ad revenue of that video gets split up between the holders. If YouTube would allow their core creators and that they work with their core creators on, providing these core deep memorabilia for their communities, I think we can onboard the masses. If they come and they try to target us, the people who are already in NFTs, I don't think they're going to do well. Yeah, that's just my take on it. I'll double down on that.
Okay. Look, the last opinion I want to get out of this is Fidgetal. I want to go back to you, and I want to get your thoughts. I guess we sort of touched on it, sort of not. But what the fuck happened with the Instagram NFT rollout? I mean, dude, what was that? Was it to test to see if they could loophole around Apple's 30%? Like, what the hell was that, and why?
The real question is, why would they pull it so quickly, right? Like, what was expectations that could have been failed in such a short time that they said they don't want to do it anymore? Honestly, it was either some legal thing or just a terrible calculation. I can't see how it was like an intentional thing to test the waters, because they didn't really test the waters. But I think it goes back to the fact that I'm not very confident. Like, those motherfuckers put how much money into Meta and that stupid metaverse shit? Like, they're just bad. Like, they're good at acquiring shit. They're not good at building shit. So they probably got some like really large risk factors that came in after they launched and just said, not worth it, and going back to building the metaverse of your basement.
Do you think that the risk factors have anything to do with a broader legal issue regarding NFTs, regarding securities, regarding things of that nature?
My guess is yes.
Damn, really?
That's what I was saying.
Yeah, I mean, Amazon is a physical goods company, right? So they're inherently not dealing, for the most part, in anything that could be deemed as a security. So it makes sense that they would be more likely to be sticking their toes into something that's a little risky with regards to digital assets, right? Something that is purely already dealing with the Twitter files stuff and not really selling goods in general, and only selling services or really intangibles, puts itself at high risk to start selling anything that's called an asset, versus like an Amazon that has a blend of the two that facilitates the sale of assets, physical goods on a regular basis, as well as hosts the world's digital economy through AWS, which makes a lot more sense. That A, they'd be able to do it more intentionally. B, they have more money than God to do it right intentionally. So I'm bullish as fuck on Amazon coming into the space. It's infrastructure, and I'm down for anything infrastructure.
So what does this mean for Meta? Vagito, are we turning bearish on what Meta is going to be able to do? Because I'm not going to lie, I am. Everything they have talked about.
Do you still use Facebook?
Say it again.
Do you still use Facebook?
No, I have honestly never used Facebook.
Do you use Instagram?
Instagram, I look at stories, but that shit is dead, and I will die on a hill. Instagram is so dead.
So it will. This continues, right? So the phase of the idea of an attention economy, much like crypto to NFT, like when it's social, it's fleeting, right? So Facebook is trying to plant their flag in the ground to keep up with what's happening. In my opinion, people like Elon and Jeff Bezos have their finger on the pulse much better than Meta has or will ever have. And I think they're just going to bleed. They went heavy into the fucking VR. That's nonsense. Went heavy into the metaverse in a dumb way. Nonsense. Their social aspects are fading. I think they'll bleed out over time. And companies like Amazon and honestly, I think Twitter is going to be at the helm of the man that doesn't fail, is going to lead the way in terms of social, and Amazon will lead the way in terms of transactions and assets.
Okay. I mean, even Twitter, what the hell is NFT verification on Twitter? I mean, what a L flop that has been, Vigil. Do you think they rolled it out and they were like, you know what? People don't really care about this.
He didn't just launch a rocket the first time into space, right? Hundreds of them got destroyed and never even left, right? The man is a winner, period. He's what Republicans think Trump is. So I'm not going to look at the short term of him testing the waters, using us as data, using us as test tubes to make it work. That's what he does, is he makes shit work. So much like USDC, when I got in, when it depegged, it's because it had to work. So he will make Twitter work, period.
Hey, Fajada, what would have happened if, hypothetically, if USDC actually nuked to zero? Like, where do we go from there?
It was technically impossible. So USDC is too big to fail for the crypto sphere, right? Luna wasn't. So the amount of usage and brand and volume, it would have been quote unquote saved. It would have been quote unquote bailed out no matter what, by either internally or externally. The reality is they never were really that exposed. And here's something that people forget about Tether. If you think Tether's at risk, you're just listening to FUD. They're 2 to 3x levered, and they transferred most of their paper into solid asset-backed vehicles like months ago. Like they literally have more than a dollar to dollar in the bank, one way or the other. They got sued for lending Ripple $750 million, like any bank would do. Most banks are levered 14 to 16x right now. The crypto is not the issue. Banks are the issue, dude.
So, are there any other stable coins that you would put your hard-earned money into other than the 2 you just mentioned?
BUSD.
Whatever. What about like a lot of people in my timeline were swapping to DAI? Like, what is that move?
Again, I don't think there's enough. DAI's a reliable backstop, but when I'm making decisions in terms of market fluctuations, I look at who has the biggest bags and who has the least likelihood of either failing or being a target. What I think the government did is yet again make a massive blunder. They seized Signature, which essentially cut off the last off ramps. Which all they're doing, by the way, is they're trying to squeeze the crypto market so that they can add KYC easily. That's it. Introduce a CBDC, let all the other stables go, and introduce KYC requirements for taxation. For like full stop. What they didn't realize is that people would choose crypto even if they don't have off ramps, and balance the access to liquidity in traditional banks and also the store of value, which is what Bitcoin to a large degree is supposed to be. And I think that the government played themselves yet again. They played themselves, the SEC, when they sued Ripple. They played themselves when they sued Tether. And they're going to have some. This might be, by the way, this might be basically them with their tail between their legs to wrap everything up, settle the Ripple case, settle Tether, slap some fines on. Ripple will move their offices offshore. They'll relist Ripple in the U.S. This is not financial advice. They'll drop the Tether case.
Sounds like it.
Not financial advice. They'll get their KYC, and decentralization will have won.
Okay. Well, it's an optimistic one, Fajital, my friend. It is definitely an optimistic one, and I tend to lean on the side of optimism. So we'll see. Thanks for the take. Thanks for the perspective. And thanks for telling me I should not swap out of my USDC at 90 cents. However, I am going to throw it to Yogi. Yogi, go to Zuki. What's good, baby?
Yeah. Sorry, I got rugged earlier, so I had to come back up. I wanted to double click on Fidgetal's take. First, Thread Guy, I think the other coin that you want to look at for stables is Paxos.
Why is that? I've never even heard of that, actually.
It's a New York regulated for whatever it's worth, because those guys don't know what they want to do right now. Well capitalized. They've been around for about 10 years, or 8 roughly, but like it's a good one to look at just if you wanted to hedge USDC. And then the second point, you don't want to, if you're afraid of USDC, you don't want to buy DAI, because USDC is part of the collateral for DAI, so it doesn't really help. So just be careful with that. And then to Fidgetal's take, the government really fucked up, I think. Silvergate was primarily a crypto bank, but crypto for Signature is like a very small part of their balance sheet. Yeah, it kind of ballooned after 2019, but like it was not the reason why they failed, regardless of what they say in the headlines. And I think the biggest shock for crypto near term is that Silvergate's Send network, Signature's Signet network, were the only 2 banks in the U.S. where you could have 24/7 settling of USDC, because as we all know, crypto doesn't sleep. And they were the only networks that could allow transactions after 5 p.m. Eastern and on weekends. So that's like the big shock that we've seen. And they're now trying to figure out what to do. And then the other point to Fidgetal is that they really want to launch a CBDC regardless of what they say. The New York Fed, amongst others, has been testing a U.S.-based stablecoin for the last 3 months.
It's already launched. It's already launched.
Yeah, it's live. And it's stupid for the U.S. to think that crypto's going away, especially with what Japan's doing, what South Korea's been doing for the last 6-7 years.
Yogi, they don't.
Done.
They don't. They just want to tax, get their money, and
Yeah.
try to position themselves.
Yeah, they don't know. And then if you look at the court cases, and this is another point I wanted to double click with Fidgetal, the SEC is going after gray area cases against weak competition that can't fight them properly. They fucked up with Ripple. They tried to block Binance with Voyager. They know they can't win in the courts. And this is like the one time where I'm like really happy we have a conservative court and a conservative Supreme Court when it comes to civil liberties and like individual rights. I heard this cabal theory in a group chat where the SEC is going after these because they know they can't win. And this last 2 weeks was kind of like taking the target off their back and trying to make some wins by just creating chaos because they're starting to lose. And this is probably overly optimistic. Like the American government's got an army and we don't. But like, I don't think this is going to their plan. And the fact that Frank from Signature that's on the board literally came out and said like the guy was part of the bill that was passed in 2008 to like well capitalized banks, and he doesn't even have a reason for why Signature was shut down on Sunday when they had the assets to prevent a bank run regardless of fears. So I think you're going to see a lot of court cases come out
Guys,
in the next
let me be very clear. A court case, when brought to SEC wins 99.8% of the time, basically 100% of the time, right? So
That's a bit of a skewed statistic because they are also the ones initiating those cases the vast majority of the time. So you
understood.
Got him.
Understood. Still, they don't bring those cases unless they believe that they are going to win 100% of the time. Therefore, people who have cases brought against them almost always settle very quickly, right? Because at the end of the day, when you know they're going to win, it's a cost-benefit analysis. There is a reason
why I was misunderstanding what you were saying. I thought you were going to Yogi's point about people bringing cases against the SEC. Okay.
No. What I was saying is they blundered, and you can tell that they blundered because there's no reason why a case would be continuing this long. One side would have settled one way or the other. The reality is that Ripple knows they have the SEC by the balls, and so they are not going to settle, because settling, right? Just think about it for a second. They are saying that they did an unregistered offering of securities or an offering of unregistered securities to unaccredited investors to the public, right? What does a settlement look like? What are they going to say? Okay, we settle. You didn't do an unlawful like think about the precedent that would be sent. So you didn't do any illegal, or you did do any illegal, because Ripple's not going to fucking settle unless they're relisted in the U.S. How does the SEC, without regulation from government making clarity, settle this case? What do they say? Okay, you relisted. Get your offices out of the country. You didn't do anything illegal, but we're going to take your money from something that is or isn't illegal. Like balls in hands, dude. They fucked themselves.
Yeah, and to add, Tether didn't actually lose their case in New York. Like that's like they settled on a fine where they didn't plead guilty and they just left because neither side wanted to deal with the other. And so that's another point that we should, kind of take. And the NYAG claiming ETH as a security last week was just another tactic to kind of create chaos. Like there have been a lot of claims by the CFTC and these other organizations. Like who are they going to sue? Like they're going to go sue Vitalik for like launching something that he doesn't even control anymore. Like what would they actually do? None of this stuff actually makes sense, and these bozos don't know what they're talking about.
My apologies.
They just want to make headlines and like run for whatever office they're going to run for next.
No, they're running optics on us to keep us busy as they get the CBDC out. For example, they tried to claim jurisdiction by saying that 42.4% of all the nodes that run the Ethereum network are in the U.S. Therefore, they have jurisdiction over a case that was involving securities. Right? What that information went wild on the timeline. They're trying to, but they never adjudicated it. They never had to adjudicate it, and they knew before they made that claim that it was never going to be adjudicated on that matter, on that basis. They're fucking with you guys.
Okay. Well, Fajidal, Does that mean I buy or sell Ripple right now?
I'm long as fuck on Ripple.
Like long.
Just look at the math, right? Ripple had massive coffers and has been building infrastructure on the back end this entire time. They've been laughing at the SEC, right? So I think they dropped by 2/3 price when they got delisted. With the analysis that I just gave you and the assumption that they don't settle without getting relisted, not financial advice, you have to presume that it would go back to at least the correlative value of market share that it had before it got delisted. Take that and add it to what they've been building infrastructure, add that to where the crypto ecosystem and regulation is globally, to where Ripple's impact can exist, right? I think we're at the point now where when Ripple first got delisted, the idea of having things like mainstream MoonPay and having IRL brick and mortar payment solutions and having on ramp, there weren't the on ramps and off ramps that exist at this level. Granted, this last little hiccup, which will be fixed, where there's money to be made, money will be made. So banks will continue to pop up, and we will continue to have off ramps while on ramps haven't stopped. The reality is, I think they paused at a time when the industry wasn't ready for them, and they're going to be revived at a time when not just the industry, but much more of the world is ready for them.
Okay, so let me ask you this, Vegito. If Ripple royally fucked the SEC, you're turbo long, and they're in a power position, does that make BitBoy Crypto the face of our industry?
Who's that?
Okay. Okay. Well, look. Thank you for the legal talk. Thank you for the legal explanations. Thank you for letting me know what I should buy and what I should not buy with your legal advice. Vagina, but look, I don't want to talk about Ripple anymore. But what I do want to do is say what is good to Miss Nicole Benham. We got her on stage. Nicole, what's the word? How you doing? How you feeling? How are you living? What is the plan for NFTLA?
Oh my God, I'm so excited to hear your voice. I'm in Austin still I'm here for the week. But yeah, everybody's last minute planning on coming to NFTLA, which I'm excited about. You know what's the weird thing about these conferences, and that's true for NFTLA, NFT NYC, and South by Southwest. People aren't really there for the conference. They're there for the side parties and the dinners. Let's be real. That's what's happening.
Okay. Let me ask you this.
Is that not true?
No.
I'm sorry. Throw up a 100 if that's true.
No, don't give her the validation. He does not need it. Throw up a thumbs down. But let me ask you this, because I'm not gonna lie, you might be the only person in my entire timeline that is at South by Southwest. I'll be honest, I don't even know what it is. How are the vibes? How are the energy? Good events? Are we feeling bullish? Are we feeling bearish? Like, what the fuck even is South by Southwest?
It's like a tech, music, entertainment festival. It's super cool. Actually, a lot of NFT people were here the first few days. They're leaving today. Then it's gonna turn into a music festival. I recommend everybody come to this. It's a different vibe. It's a different vibe.
Yeah. Well, I don't know about you. I don't spend too much time in Texas, so you enjoy that state.
Right.
I'll enjoy my NFTLA.
You enjoy Virginia. Oh yeah.
Okay. Well, look. Last thing I want to ask about. Last thing I want to touch on. Thanks for being here, Nicole. Thanks for the takes. I do want to throw it to Vagito really quick. And Vagito, I want to ask you, ChatGPT 4, I think it just came out today, or it's coming out tomorrow. Everyone on my timeline is talking it. They're gassing it. They're saying it's going to take over the world. We've never really had an AI conversation. I do not want to break into one, but I'm just curious about your thoughts on ChatGPT 4.
Much like my bewilderment with the lack of people understanding basics in terms of monetary flow, understand that the money's going to be made in the ways that we can control. So where the gaps are. So it's mostly prompts, it's mostly integrations, AI is just going to continue to evolve by definition as it builds on top of itself, right? Data sets will continue to expand. It will be fed continuously more information. As soon as we get quantum computing that's happening at the same time alongside AI, it's going to be everything you fear. So we might as well try to.
Wait, what do you mean? What do you mean it's gonna be everything that I fear?
So I run off the premise that we are no different than technology. That we are data, right? We're just generations and millions of years of data, and we're just really, 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 really high functioning for the most part. Not double A, but we're really high functioning computers. At the end of the day, we're data processors. So with that theory, because I don't really believe in nature, I believe in nurture. For the most part, we have to presume that it will become a human at some point. So if you run off that that supposition, then you can get ahead of it in terms of benefiting from it instead of worrying about what it's going to what it is or isn't going to be, and just assume it's going to be that. If you can position yourself there, then you'll make tons of money along the way.
Okay. Well, I'm trying to position myself to make a fuck ton of money along the way. Vagina, I'm trying to do what you've never done, babe. But look,
Did you listen to the thing I told you to
I
listen
was
to?
just gonna tell you to send me it. Send me the recording, please. I gotta
Oh
listen
my
to it.
fucking
It's been a
lord.
busy weekend, dude. It's been a busy fucking weekend. I'm trying to come join you in the valley, my friend, and that doesn't happen by osmosis. Okay.
I think that's the biggest word I've ever heard you say.
Osmosis, define it.
The act of filtration.
Osmosis, 3 syllables. All right, look. On that note, this has been a banger of a 2 hour and 30-minute space because for some reason I committed to a space in 2 minutes. Not sure why I did it, but I did. So here we are, I'm rugging this motherfucker. Look, I'm sorry for the little hiatus, but I am back, motherfucker. So look, I'll catch you when I catch you. I'll see you when I see you. 1 p.m. Eastern tomorrow. Be there or be fucking square. I'm rugging this thing. Have a great rest of your day. Love you, motherfuckers. Peace.